In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission, to bring freedom to everyone involved.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Doing a thing for the podcast.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends Podcast.
Jim's been on a streak of shitty box press that he can't draw through.
Who are you getting box presses from?
Fucking Placencia, Camacho. There was another one that I got like through 3 things, and because I've been on this run, I just was like, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
And it was like $12-13 fucking cigar. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm just
In all
not doing
fairness,
it.
from what I can tell in kind of the state of the industry right now, there's only a few brands that are really being hardcore about their QC. And it's because shit's so hard to get in right
just
now
happy to
that
get
they're
it.
just kind of like, we got product,
Yeah.
so we're going to be good with it. There's
But still,
not a
like,
lot of brands that are
there's-
being super hardcore about
There's
like
not
this
really
needs to be
an
correct.
excuse though to have a tight draw cigar
No, there's not.
because
Well, and-
there's machines that test that. Like,
Yeah, and Scott's like, these are great cigars, and I'm like, dude, good. I smoked them. I'm like, okay, you can always have one bad one. After like the third one, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, if
You,
I have
you ended up with a good one though.
Yeah, I did.
If I have
the other
one
night,
bad
though, that one, I
experience-
didn't want to let that one go.
yeah, if I have one bad experience with a cigar,
No,
I'll
that was
chalk it
good.
up
That
to the
was-
fact that this is a handmade product, and you get one that's off every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's normally why I buy 2 at a shot, because
Yeah.
if I have one bad one and the other one's okay, then it's like, all right, it's worth giving it another
I always
run.
buy 2 because it's either if the first one I'm not sure
That's a
about,
good
I have
idea.
a second one to confirm, or if
Yep.
the first one's really good, I have another one that I can enjoy. So either
Yep.
way, having 2 of them is just smart,
Unless it's 2 really shit.
unless it's 2 shitty ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, note to self: don't buy two Gurkhas.
Easy.
That's the fucking thing with the Republic. They get that whole fucking
Redacted.
run line of fucking Gurkhas. Like taking up space there. It's just like
Well,
Yeah.
they might do
they've
really
got other
they're-
good. They've got really
Look,
good other.
Here's the deal: is Gurkha among cigar smokers it only runs hot and cold. Like there
Yeah.
is no like,
Yeah.
they're all right. Like it is either
I've had a couple
People-
decent ones.
Yeah.
I don't mind their
They-
the cellar reserve ones, like the
Yeah.
12 and 15 year ones aren't bad.
The dude that came in from California, that customer of ours that stopped in and
yeah.
brought us a couple, those were really good. But
It's
that was
the-
a California specific
problem
edition.
I think where Gurkha shot themselves is they sold bands to a company that did a lot of magazine sales
yeah.
that put the bands on shitty fucking
Yeah.
cigars.
Yeah.
And so what you order off of line and you get isn't necessarily the same thing that they sell to stores.
Yeah.
So
The biggest problem that I had with them prior to the mail order thing was they were selling high dollar cigars to cover the cost of a very expensive box.
yeah, they had really
And it was not a $13 to $15 cigar. It
Right.
was a $7 to $8 cigar in
they have the best packaging.
100%.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But that's because the
They
guy
do.
that
It's-
founded
it's
him started
fucking-
as a cabinet maker. Like that was his original career.
Oh, was it?
He was a cabinet maker, and then he essentially just started making cabinets for
I have no
for
idea.
cigars.
They've got a shit. Yeah, they got a shit ton of fucking labels. They look cool, and then you get a like you said, you get a,
Well,
sometimes
and
you get a good humidor with them.
Shit, they used to make those like things that just straight up look like a pirate treasure
I have
chest
2
that
of those.
opened up, and
I have 2 of those.
they're dope as shit,
I keep all of my coins and bullshit.
They're great.
And- yeah.
and they're well built.
They are.
like extremely
Yeah.
well. Their humidors are beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the Gurkha branded
Yeah.
humidors are gorgeous. It's just their catalog.
When was the
is-
last time you went into Republic? Did you see that Liga fucking thing they're giving out? They're raffling off.
Oh, it's
Humidor?
been
Yeah,
it's been
fucking awesome.
3-4 weeks.
Yeah,
So
it's in there for Christmas. The guy was supposed to give me fucking a ticket.
Drew Estate does crank out some pretty awesome swag.
Yeah.
Do you remember that awesome pedestal ashtray they made like 5 or 6 years ago?
Yes,
I think it was dope as shit. It was all hand carved, and this custom square ashtray dropped into the top of it.
It was cool.
It was dope as shit. But they only made like 15 of them or some shit though, and they all got given away, or
yeah,
like
I don't remember.
it was all a raffle prize thing. They were dope though. Anyways, should we start this bitch?
yeah,
It's already started, boys.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
naturally.
Well, fuck boys.
Fuck boys.
This is sort of the Freedom Friends podcast. We're like 50% here, and then stunt beard and guest extraordinaire.
Yeah.
But So,
Mr. Nine Fingers himself.
We're fucking mailing this fucking podcast in today.
well, we mail it in all the fucking
Yes.
time. It's just now is
Now it's a
Pickup team.
now it's been shipped with like DHL. Like we didn't even. So, we're the most mediocre show on the internet.
Even more mediocre today than
Yeah,
usual.
coming to you not even close to live from the Warfighter Tobacco Studios in.
San Antonio.
There you go. It's not even. We can't even say beautiful or warm or cold
No,
or whatever. It is.
it's kind of
It's a-
right there in the middle.
It's a day.
It's not. It's not snowing.
That's true.
Because God knows we shut the whole state of Texas down.
But like I said, it's a weird crew today. So the lovely Scott is down there holding down the anchor position. We have Davey Boy.
Hola.
We love Davey though.
Goddamn right.
Mr. Fuck You Sir himself, Big Jim.
Thank you.
I even get to sit close to him. I can smell his musk. It's amazing. Woo-hoo. It's gonna be a show.
It is.
We're brought to you by warfightertobacco.com. If you go there and hit FTFO in that code, you're gonna score a sweet 15% off your order. Unless they have a super awesome sale going on right now that
Nothing
trumps
right now.
that. But
No.
Black
No.
Friday's over.
Yeah.
Cyber Monday's over.
Cyber Monday's over. All that stuff. So
See you next year for the big. That's it.
Yeah. So FTFO is going to be your. If you slacked off on the big sales, this will get you a little bit of a discount going into Christmas
Sounds
season.
pretty good.
And then our boys over at owellness.us for all of your super schmexy CBD needs.
Mhm.
It's they've got for what's ails you.
This is a problem.
It's good. That shit's good. So you can go hit them up and use Freedom Friends 25 to get a quarter off your order over there. And then if you go back and listen to a bunch of our old episodes, I think there's companies out there that are still giving out coupon codes that still work. That I don't even remember all of them at this point. So because
Yeah, I
we've
think-
had guests that have just been like, yeah, fuck it, we'll do one, and they
Well, grow your ass off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
grill
it's
your ass off, it
FF15
get
is
you
still functioning over
15%.
there. Yep.
Yeah. I want to say there was some others.
Like I said, mail
Yeah.
this one right in.
Yeah, fuck. I don't know. The guy that usually does the guy that usually pays the bills isn't fucking here. So
Yeah.
He's wearing a Santa suit.
Yeah.
he's off doing.
He's hoeing.
He's hoeing.
Yes.
He's hoeing it up for somebody
He's
else.
just doing it
So,
for the hose, man.
Yeah. We're getting close to the end of the year though, so I am going to throw out a thank you to all of our fucking Patreon people
Yes.
because I know there's probably not like a lot of visible stuff that you guys can tell that Patreon covers, but it does get spent on like trying to improve the show and streamline
Oh,
shit. And
Wait, without you guys, this thing would be less mediocre.
Yeah.
I got $1.98 for gas to come in here. So-
that's our. So
So
we
it
have
costs you $1.98 to start your car.
I know it's a pain.
yeah. Well, we only have a $2.50 guest budget. $2.50.
Since
That's
I know.
it. If it costs you more than that to get here, it's all on your like.
Yeah,
it's-
we'll fly you in, and we'll hand you the allowance.
yeah, it's
If
$2.
anywhere in the world, we'll fly a guest in.
Yeah, and we'll reimburse you $2.50 once you
Yeah.
get here. Outside of that, though,
Yeah,
it's on you.
yeah,
It's totally on you. We'll coordinate it though.
yeah. Which is why
Yeah,
we have guests like Jim and not like really cool people sometimes.
Well,
Damn.
Well, I can't afford anybody else, so my friends come on.
that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just happy to be here.
In all fairness, we can't. We have friends that we would love to fly in.
Yes.
We can't afford to fly
Exactly,
in.
yeah.
We are local friends come and be on the show.
Yeah.
No, we're always happy to have you, buddy.
I'm just happy to be here. It's a Monday. I was off today, so it worked out when Scott hit me up on Saturday. He said, hey. I said, absolutely.
That's why you gotta love December. You can talk to anybody on like any random day, and it's like, yeah, I'm not working today.
Yeah.
It's like,
The government shuts down. Once you hit that Monday before Thanksgiving.
it's over.
everybody's like, there's not going to be any battle rhythm events. We're not going to be doing this. We're not going to be doing that. And then when they do decide to have a meeting, you've got, instead of having like the 06's briefing on these things that we're supposed to have, you've got captains. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Okay.
Well, it's because the 06 that hasn't taken any leave just took like all 30 of his days for. He's just like, I'm not gonna be here. I'll be back in January. It's like, oh shit.
Don't burn the place down. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? Really? Like, it's different for Warfighter because you guys are retail. Like,
Yeah.
so you kind of December
Well,
can be really good, but
We're really flexible though. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
well, I mean, we stopped up here yesterday, and you were here like in the evening just doing some work because you had stuff to get done, and it was a Sunday evening, and shit had to get done, right? Like, so if you're gonna take a Monday afternoon off to record a television, I almost said television show, to record
Well, it kind of is.
whatever the fuck
I mean,
this is.
If you're
Yeah.
streaming your YouTube on your TV, then I guess we're a
Yeah.
television show.
Yeah,
Grandma,
in theory.
We are a show
Grandma
on the
would
television.
totally think we're a television show if you put it on the TV.
You're just sitting there going, what the fuck are you watching?
Not much.
Don't worry about it.
Not much.
Yeah. You had some staying power then, because it was about 3:30 when I stopped by yesterday afternoon.
Hey, we dropped the trailer off around 6 and he was here.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I had the bike out and because
It was a nice day yesterday.
a
little sticky, but temperature was
It was
great.
nice. Seth.
yeah,
Saturdays.
especially for the bike ride. I just threw a flannel on and my leather, just went out and enjoyed it for a little bit because I was looking at the weather forecast. I'm like, it's not going to be much warmer for the rest of the week. So,
Texas-
So like this
Texas
upcoming
winter's
weekend
gotta
is
hit
supposed to
at
be like
some
back
point.
to the 80s.
yeah. I'm fine with it being cold
Which
as
is
shit
nice because I
during
have
the
to
week.
build a deck this upcoming weekend. So I
Yeah.
would prefer not to be cold.
Sorry. I'm
It won't be long. It's just the top decking and the railings.
glad you have that skill. So
Yeah.
I like making shit.
that's good. I usually call in a guy.
Well, you're married. You kind of married into a guy too.
My brother-in-law is really good with a hammer and a nail gun.
and his commute is nothing.
I know, it's amazing. But you would be surprised how much shit doesn't get done in my house and the guys next door. So he bought not bought.
Wait a minute. Is his done that? Because he's got that project in the backyard.
He built, he got that monster shed that's got like, it's a badass shed.
but is it done?
Is it
Yes, it's-
actually done?
Yeah,
or?
it's done. It's got like lights in it. It's got the tin roof that they got off one of their construction sites. It's cool. Yeah, it's done. Yeah, all the insulation's covered up. and
It
stuff.
wasn't done for a while.
It wasn't
like
done
it
for a
was one
while.
of those situations
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it was like, well, because he does it for like 12 hours a day.
It
So
was
the last
it's-
thing you want to do is go home and do it some more. Like,
well, and it's also kind of like Mikey's fence. It's one of those things like I
I
will
think that's
get
more
to it.
because
Well,
our lovely Mikey has no fucking idea what he's doing.
That's why I don't have him come in. I'll usually hire somebody else, like my wife. I'm like, no. Let's just hire a guy. He'll get done. It won't be like 90%, and then at the end of the day, I'm still dealing with the last 10%.
Do you know what would be awful about like being a contractor and getting hired by your wife though?
Oh, you can't fuck off.
You're
Well,
not getting away with shit.
No.
Well, that's why when
It
we remodeled my house, it was like every day she's there, motherfucking these guys, because they knew like if they fuck up our house, they're not going to get hired for like the company, So it worked out good. But I mean, but Leon came in and he did the humidor. He banged that out, him and Mac. So, so and the desk and stuff. So it's good. But
Yeah, and the humidor was like what 2 days. This was a half a day.
Yeah, the
like,
humidor went up quick. And
Yeah.
it's good. We're super happy with it.
Yeah,
too.
because that was the first time I met
Leon,
Oh yeah.
was when they were because we were up here, and I think you had barely known him at that point because it was
no, they
No,
did it
I
for
knew
me.
Leon from
Wow,
day
yeah.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at Cigar night the first night we met.
because I met him, and when he was putting the humidor in.
Yeah.
I'm back. So, but he got a video, an arcade like setup thing, like the one that you can play like 90,000 games. So now he's going to build a wooden thing that we're going to put in the garage that you can play like
God, like-
Frog
like
and
a-
Galaga and fucking
Yeah.
everything.
Nice.
So yeah, trying to reclaim my garage from the COVID.
Yeah.
Got all that workout shit that I don't want in the garage. So
I gotta get mine put back together. My cage is up, but now there's too much other shit in my garage, so I can't actually like use my cage.
yeah. I can't
It's a
do it at
little more
home, man. I
annoying.
hate working out at home. Some people can do it. You can do it, obviously. I just can't do it.
I should be doing it.
Dude,
I don't
that thing's badass though.
Yeah, I got a good machine. I just need to.
I don't mind working out at home, and the reason I don't mind working out at home is I fucking hate waiting for equipment. And because I live in San Antonio, anywhere I would go to actually just want to lift, you're always sitting around waiting on something. So having it at home is I don't have to wait,
Yeah.
and that's my big thing about it.
The beauty of like, so I train on post or whatever, and I just kind of come in and I try to do my workouts. I don't train on National Chest Day on Mondays and stuff. I try to vary my time. So
So you're just not on those.
not on the things,
Yeah.
but then I just sit there and I glare, and I'm like, hey, what are we doing? And they kind of get
Yeah.
moving along.
See, my problem was that like in San Antonio, unless you're going to join one of these insanely expensive like black iron gyms, because we have like heavy metal and all those, but they're fucking pricey.
I don't know what
So-
heavy. I mean, I don't know. I was like the 4th member of heavy metal, so
Oh, now they're like $100 and something a month. to be
yeah,
able
they
to
have
lift
every
in
piece.
there.
But if you're serious, they
but-
have every piece of equipment you
Sure.
ever need. So,
But when you just needed like I just needed
I got
like a platform and a rack, like that's all I really needed. So it was like golds, but each gym only has
fun.
one. And so,
Yeah.
because Gold completely got away from the fact that they were like a powerlifting gym. Like so now it's like, it's a whole lot of machines and cardio and all this shit. So they have like one lifting platform. So when you go and you just want to like do the big 3 and then fucking leave, but you've got some dude that's deciding that he's going to do fucking snatches that he's dropping from 6 feet because he can't put the bar back down. And you've got to sit there and wait for this dude to take his fucking gym selfie between each lift and shit. And I'm just like, I could be here for 35 minutes. But instead, I'm here for fucking 2 hours because this fuckwit needs to sit here and take a 10-minute breather between every lift. It's fucking annoying.
Just
Hey, Jim. How you doing, buddy?
I just because I've had the beauty of being able to train with like some of the best guys in the world.
Yeah.
So I go in with Obi or any of those guys, and everybody just fucks off. It's great. It's just like,
Oh, you mean they get out of the way?
They get they get the hell out of the way quick.
See,
you
that
know?
wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
But these guys don't. They'll like set the bar down and then they stand next to it.
No, everybody paid their membership. They're entitled to train for however long. But if you're going to sit there and you start playing with your phone and you're taking the selfies instead of like, there's legitimately, hey, I've got to look at my deadlift. I want to record what I'm doing. Got it. But
So-
if you're like,
To play devil's advocate here,
Yeah.
Chaz, you walk in, you're doing your own thing. Obi walks in, he's doing his own thing. If I'm using a machine and I'm not the quickest in the world, and you walk up, I'm like, yeah, he can probably wait. If Obi walks up, I'm like, he's here for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, and so,
it's
and I have
sir,
a
I'm
problem
done.
with that. But the reason I ended up with my own gear is that
yeah.
it's that it was the availability. So like when
Yeah.
Gold's only had one rack,
Yeah.
it was easier just to get my own shit than it was.
I can honestly say I've been into a Golds like once when I was young.
Yeah.
But they really only have like one rack.
If you go to them now,
it depends
it's like
on where
one
you go.
fucking rack.
Because like the
Yeah.
guys up in New Braunfels, the manager there, and they do have leeway on what they've got. So
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
got a couple of good racks in there, and he's got some equipment and like what they can buy. They have some leeway. So not every gym has to have the basics, and then you've got some leeway.
Yeah, the
to kind
gyms
of-
So what do you
change
got?
a
Like
little bit, but-
45 exercise bikes and
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
where I was living off of TPC, I kind of lived between two of them. And then
Yeah.
COVID shut a bunch of the Golds down. Like
Yeah.
a bunch of the locations went under.
They did.
So they moved. So we belonged to one that wasn't near as busy. And then and that one wasn't as bad, but they shut it down and it moved all the membership to another one. So then you had twice the number of people in there, and they
Yep.
legitimately only had one Oli platform and a rack on it. And that was it. Now they had like 17 bars because I guess like as trainers had come through, they had convinced the gym to like, we need to order a hex bar and we need to order an axle bar and we need to order this. But they still only had one rack. And so they had one set of plates and that was it. And so you were just constantly waiting.
Yeah.
And then you'd end up with like people were in the curl bar, like racks trying to fucking figure out how to do everything in those, but you kind of can't. And people were jacking plates from everywhere. And I had a setup before I moved on to TPC and it went to storage, sat in storage
Yeah.
for 2 years. And then now I have a garage again. So I'm like, fuck it, I can go in there. And if I'm going to get up early enough to go work out, I don't want to stand around and fucking watch people. I want to do my workout because I'm not much of a morning person anyways. So forcing myself to go to the gym to lift, and I already don't like mornings. I'm like, so now it's going to hurt and I don't want to be here and I have to wait for this this
I
dick.
can't.
Like,
I can't do it in the morning. Like my wife gets up at 5, so now I'm up.
Yeah.
Out of bed at like 6 now. Like fuck.
Yeah.
You know the dogs are all like, "Hey, now we're up." So they carry that through the weekend. It sucks. But I go at like 11:30 or 12 on post, like the normal army lunch or whatever. But I eat, so I get in the office at 7:30, and then I eat the entire time while I'm working, and
Right.
then I go, and then I come back, eat at my desk basically, and continue to eat until it's time to go home. So I've kind of become.
you're so lucky you have good metabolism because
But I think it's.
Yeah, but you've seen
I
this.
know.
You've seen this guy lift.
Yeah,
Like
well,
when
so
he
have
goes
you
to,
seen
when he
his
goes to
workout
lift,
though? Like he has a
every-
reason to fuel that.
no, I
like,
know.
like-
yeah.
every calorie he puts in, he burns twice over when he goes to lift.
And the farther away I've gotten sort of from powerlifting too, I don't have like the energy to sit there for 2 hours because
Yeah.
we used to do it when I was competing. It sucked because you're training with 3 or 4 guys. If you're going to do it right, you train with 3, and you just sit there. And
Yeah.
everybody's has their different times that they've got to go. I've had guys who will eat a full chicken in between like exercises.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? But yeah, it's happening. So,
I think
don't
the
have
thing
to-
that broke me from that was like I went to the fucking gym one time and I'm a get in, lift, and get the
I
fuck
gotta
out
go,
kind of
yeah.
guy. You know, so
Well, and that's exactly why it was so infuriating. Is it was just like,
I went to the gym and there was two guys on the gym that I went to had 1, 2, 3, 4 flat benches, 2 inclines and 2 declines. And I watched 2 dudes switch round and round robin on one flat bench the entire fucking time I did my entire workout. I did my whole workout in 45 minutes and the 2 of them were on one bench the entire time. Like that is some bullshit.
Dude, I watched a guy the other day, and I should be watching him. I'm trying to do my own shit. I deadlifted. I went from my warm up and my half-ass stretch to 5 set 85 in like 20 minutes, which is not what I suggest by any stretch of the imagination.
that's a little
That's
rapid. Don't do that, kids.
Yeah, don't do that. But I don't have time, so I'm doing it. This guy is still there on the phone doing this. Dude, how I don't have time.
Well,
Yeah.
but those are the guys that are going to crow about, I just spent 3 hours at the gym. It's like, well, yeah, you were on your phone for 2 of them.
yeah, I spent 3 hours at the gym.
You've been doing-
it was like 40 minutes worth of work, but
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So-
when we went,
Yeah, we moved, and I did a lot of that for as much for me as for you because I don't want you to get bored. You know what I'm saying?
we were
Like,
there for an hour.
Yeah.
and I
you
felt
worked
like I
for an
worked
hour.
out.
Yeah.
When I left, I felt like I had a workout in.
And we
Yeah.
were doing so when me and Scott were training, it was never like we do one heavy exercise. The rest of it's all bodybuilding shit. Because I'm not going to bore the shit out of him, and I'm certainly not how I used to train. Having him do that shit, it's just not. It's like
Well,
not what you're looking for, you know.
That and I couldn't do it. So
Well,
there
you
was
can do
that.
it at a lighter, but it's just not fun. It's just not. You know what I'm
the
saying?
other
So I
reason
wanted to
that
make
I
it
like
fun for you.
I like working at pace is it keeps your heart rate up.
Yeah.
So I get the cardio portion out of it too,
Yeah.
and it's just.
But
then
we
I
were
don't-
doing like we're doing a bunch of different things, and the main thing,
Yeah.
not super trying to fatigue ourselves, and then get on to the other stuff. So, but he had to get back,
Yeah.
and stuff. So I'm like, I'm not. Doing
I've trained
this.
with you a couple
Yeah.
times. I like training with you.
We just move
It's-
along.
well, it's also-
yeah.
You've also he's like the best cheerleader ever that you can have in the fucking gym.
Well, I want
Yeah.
you to succeed.
Because he's just sitting there going like, "Fucking go! You got it. You're fine." And it's like, I don't think I got it. He's like, "Shut the fuck up, lift it." And you're like,
I would prefer, and that's the other thing too. We talk about it, like whatever. Like your ability to lift a weight has no bearing on me. Like if you're a fucking monster, like when I go train with Obi, and he logs, a 385 pound log or a 4+ watt log, and I'm like trying to bullshit with like 185. That neither weight has any bearing on what I can do and what he can
Yeah.
do. There's no ego. You can't have an ego. Like if you see some guy across the thing, and that's not kind of what we're doing here. Is I hate making fun of people because I don't know what their injuries are and like, what their capacity to do shit is. It's when you start doing the fuckery that starts driving us like falling asleep on the bench. Like let's come on, baby.
Yeah.
no,
been
you were
doing
always
this.
good about that. If
Yeah.
like if you, not that anybody,
But if you're killing
listening
it
will
and
ever do
you're
it,
killing it with 135 on the bench, good.
Yeah.
Like have at it,
no,
man.
you get hype regardless of what everybody's weight is. Like if they're doing good work, you're hype about the fact that they're doing
when
good
your
work.
wife trains and we get her and she succeeds on doing shit. I love that shit.
Yeah.
man.
See, Jim and I like working out with you, right? We get more like you would yell a little bit
Yeah.
and like get into
Yeah.
it. I never would, right?
Yeah.
But that's my background
Yeah.
as a sniper. Like I just don't get worked
No.
up, right?
But I get worked up when you succeed. When I
Yeah.
lift, I don't say shit. I don't want to be slapped, whacked around, any of that
Right.
shit. I just want to like, I'm already focused on like what I'm doing, like getting slapped. Like guys would do that shit, and I'm like, dude, you just wore me the fuck out. Like now I got to go take a break to get my heart rate, so then I can go, But you go to powerlifting.
That's true.
you do-
You're really quiet when you lift.
I don't. I'm
when it's
trying to, dude. It's too hard. It's shit's heavy. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I gotta.
Watching him he just walks up and he's like, what is it, like 550? Okay. Up and down.
The hilarious
All right,
part
what's
is
next?
like,
Because it's hard. I,
couple of times,
I don't want to get all fired up. Like some
Yeah.
guys they tell you, don't get fired up. Not too high, not too low, and then do your shit.
Well,
But,
the worst is when you walk up and you're like super fired up, all fucking pumped, and then you can't do it.
Do
You're
it,
like,
yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't ever want that.
Yeah, I was deadlifting. I missed. I think I missed the 585, and I just stared at it, and I'm like, I'm not going to get it again. My nervous system is shot. I'm
Yep.
happy with kind of where I was, and
Yeah.
it was kind of bonus for the day or whatever.
You get in set and you're like, no, that's not going to
But
happen.
conversely, I love chalk, so I'll have chalk like it's all over me. I love it. I fucking love it. I love bleeding. I love chalk, and I love fucking ammonia caps.
yes, you do.
I love ammonia caps. So I'm not screaming enough, but I like I'll just sit there and like me and Obi are sitting there like we're snorting cocaine because we're both trained it back and forth. And he's like, all right, that one's done. And then we're like, all right, snap another one back. Yeah, it's great.
The best is when you bleed into the chalk.
Oh, I have to, yes.
Right?
Then, yeah.
You get the
You get a good bar and it's all, and then you've scraped your knees up and you're bleeding and then there's blood all over the bar. And then you're like, all right, here, you want to go deadlift? Like, no, dude, I don't want your goddamn hepatitis. So,
I was training with him one time. He was going to bench some god awful weight,
which I'm not a bencher, but
and he was like, "Hey, can you spot this for me?" And I'm looking at the bar and I'm looking at him and I'm like, "Are you?
but here's the thing. Like,
Are you sure?" And I literally was like, "I don't
if
think
you've
I'm
got to
your
do
guy."
any real work, if you can take 40 pounds, like,
Well,
if
and
you
that's
have to do
literally
that much weight,
he was like, I
Yeah.
need you to be able to lighten it by 50 pounds. And I was like, okay, I can do that.
If it's something catastrophic,
catastrophically, I can flip one end over.
right? Yeah, that's all I kind of.
Well, he just
Maybe.
all it was you need to be able to lift it just enough to where it's like at the weight that I just did. So because then I know I can get it up, and I'm like, all right, I can do that. But like,
if it's
because I think he was gonna bench more than I deadlift, and I was like,
there was a guy a couple of weeks ago, and I had 335 on there, and I'm like, yeah, I want to. A lot of times because it's an army and it's not a good bench. I need to be able to have the lift off so I can stay tight because my shoulder's bullshit. I have to do everything right, otherwise it's not coming up. So I went down, I paused. I didn't tell him I was going to pause, so that freaked him out, and he went to grab the bar. So he was chasing the bars. I'm fucking firing this thing up. It was like fast as shit because I was worried he was going to touch it and like fucking DQ my lift. And I'm like, boom. Like that was the fastest 335 has ever come up because I was worried he was going to like fucking touch the bar. But like Scott was good. I would be like, all right, Scott, this is what we're doing. And like being a handler, being a liftoff guy is like, that's a thing. And if you don't know what you're doing.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, but I taught him like, all right, this is what you got to do. I just need you to kind of be there kind of thing. Pull it off. Don't pull it out of my hands.
well, and you tell people too, like, I'll let you know if I don't have it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
know.
like it's like just kind of hover and like
The funniest
it'll be like
thing-
nope, and it's like all right, I got you. Like,
Is when we went into lift, right? You'll get down and you'll do just the bar to like warm and get your form, and and I know that people are looking at your big ass and you're doing just the bar. And then the next time they walk by, you're doing whatever the fuck you do.
yeah, but anybody that actually
But
lifts
if I
that
see
that-
people who don't lift with the bar and they'll start throwing weight on there, I'm like, amateur.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You're gonna hurt yourself.
anybody
Like,
that knows what they're doing,
Yeah.
just always starts with an empty bar.
You got to get show woke back up. Plain and
Yeah.
simple.
Well, it's enough to warm it up. So like the only time I don't go empty bar is when I'm going to warm up for deadlift.
Deadlifts, I put 135 on.
Yeah, and it's just because it's form. You can't lift an empty bar from the floor and actually get deadlift form. Like,
They don't have a.
that's why you get those fake plates, the
I
training
have
plates.
I have
that you can
10
look like
pound. I have 10-pound bumpers that will put it at the right
but
height.
they make plates that look like
Oh
45.
yeah, they're great for
yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
You put like 3 of those on, and then the 45s on the
Yeah.
outside, so it looks like it's heavy.
Or like we were talking about this weekend, that fat kid that fucking. Did you guys see that?
It's not real because he looks
It
like he's in a
kinda
suit.
has to be
How?
real.
I don't know how
Justin.
they did it though.
I don't know if you can find it or not.
Is it the one where the kid like turns into goop?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my, nope, that's definitely CGI, Scott.
Is it really?
It's
Oh, yeah.
100% CGI.
No, because he.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Thank God.
I'm gonna put this on the screen for anyone who's watching on
Dude,
YouTube.
because like it looks like he passes out and just kills himself.
I've seen enough people like blow quads on squats that it just doesn't. But he
Crumbled.
crumbled.
Yeah.
I've seen crumbles. It was almost, and then I was like, okay, but then he's like, "Bleh," and like,
Well, that's like
That's really good CGI then.
pretty good.
you watch quite a bit of it. Did you see this world record bench press that just happened from this female?
yeah, she did a.
But that her back arc was like, I mean, it was like contortionist level arc.
I just wish
they
I
help
could
her.
arc it.
They help her clear the. They help her clear the rack, and the bar moves this far.
Yeah,
like it
people-
literally goes, dink, and they gave it to her because she was so arced out.
Oh,
on,
she. I mean, that is a legitimate. That is a real lift based on.
but
Really?
because she was
Yes.
so arced on the bench, it brought her chest so far up that the bar only had
Yeah,
to
she's
move like
curved like this.
3 inches. And you'll have to go find it, but I kid you not, her back is like this. Like if this is the bench, she's like this.
Yeah, it's.
So she reaches up, and the bar goes dink.
But that's
And they gave it
that's
to her-
legitimate. That's like
It's-
Dave. You know,
Based on the ruling of what a bench press is.
it's a bench press.
It was a bench press, but the bar didn't move like any distance at all.
That's like guys who sumo. You see some guys have short arms. So I get nothing out of a sumo. Like I can spread the floor or whatever, and I get nothing out because my arms come above my knees. Some guys' arms are like below their knees. So they sumo, the range of motion is like that. It's impressive that they hook into like 800 pounds or whatever, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That to me,
I still have a problem with sumo listing.
Yeah. No, I got a buddy of mine that he does a lot of sumo, and I was lifting with him one day. He's like, "You want to try it?" And I'm like, "All right, fine." And I had like 6 inches of motion out of the bar.
If you've got fucking orangutan arms, by all means, dude.
know.
Yeah.
So tall guys doing bench has to be harder.
It sucks. Yes.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like that used to kill Leon.
Yeah.
Obi, for as strong as he is, or whatever, still 500 pounds is kind of where he, and his other lifts are so much bigger. But he's got long arms. So it's not a thing that you definitely, I mean, there's guys, but guys with like shorter ranges of
Some
motion.
of that too, you also just have to, the sport application too. Like
Right.
Obi's strong as fuck, but I don't really care what Obi benches. Because I've seen what else Obi can do as far as like actual strongman. It doesn't translate into actual strongman. So when then you watch him like actually do strongman, you're like, that bench doesn't fucking matter. Like
For all those guys, for the
you
most
just moved
part,
an airplane. Like I don't think anybody cares what your bench press is at this point. Like
it's funny, man. It's and the thing is now there's so much information out there. It's almost too much information, but you can figure out the right way to do things and the right way to eat and the right way to sleep and the right way to, I mean, there's more information now than there ever was.
And a lot of it also just comes down to like do the fucking work.
But if you look at the
you can read all that shit, but if you're not actually going to do the work, reading all about it doesn't make you any stronger.
But the guys in the 80s, I mean, had they had a little bit more education, probably the rehab, they were so strong. Those guys were so strong.
But a lot of them would be so broken as they
little-
are now.
Well, that was the thing. They those guys wouldn't be, the powerlifters, but they all had great physiques. And then you got into gear lifting and they all got the fat guys and everybody makes fun of the fat guys. Those guys are still strong as shit. And a lot of those guys now, the guys who are still alive, they've kind of slimmed down and realized you can have a 6-pack at almost 300 pounds and not look like a bag of shit.
Well, look at Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
You know,
he's
you want to talk about a dude that is baroque but still goes to the gym on a regular basis.
Ronnie Coleman is the picture of the 90s bodybuild. Like he was a freak though, because he would still do powerlifting. That's how he kind of came up and had the genetics to be, as tight as he was. But the guys now, the bodybuilders now, they take a shitload of drugs. They barely know how to train.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a guy that does their drug regimen. The guy does their food regimen. They have no idea how they got there. And then they're just monsters. And they're cut as shit at 300 pounds. But to ask them how do they train, they're like, well, I kind of do this. And you see them train. Some guys are legitimately strong. Most of them aren't strong.
That's like
especially for the size
that
they are,
whole gym out of the UAE now or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What's that ridiculous gym out of, I think it's the UAE.
There's a lot of those guys. They have no idea what they're doing.
All are those guys that like put all that oil shit in your arms?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's so
is that?
stupid. It's so stupid. And the thing is that stuff doesn't go anywhere
No, it just sits there.
forever.
Yeah.
Unless you get a drain, and it's almost impossible to like get you back down to like how you're supposed to be. And how anybody thinks that that's
Well, it looks ridiculous because it's not proportionate.
no, guys would take that stuff in like the 90s to be like, hey, my shoulder, like this, like I'd be like, Jazz's shoulders are like awesome. And his pops, because he's genetically predisposed to have a better shoulder structure than I have, like a black guy versus a white guy. So it depends. And they would just take a little bit of oil and it would pop a little bit and you're fine. Okay, that's fine. That's enough. Your body can kind of deal with that on the off season or whatever. Now, those retarded, like Brazil, there's a couple of guys in Brazil, and there's a couple of guys in the Middle East that do that stuff, and you see them on it, and that's not what that stuff was for, and it's not good for you.
Well, you can't be. And like,
they can't even put their arms down.
yeah.
And they get tiny little forearms, and you're like, okay. All right.
You got a wrist like mine and a fucking
Or
like,
that dude, was it 2 years ago or whatever? He went on Instagram and showed the video of like it all migrated. It was all migrated to the back of his arms, and he had these like huge. He had like double D's like on the back of his arm because his biceps had deflated. That's all of it had migrated to the back, and
that's some ultimate granny bye-byes right there.
It was rowdy.
Yeah, it's so gross.
It was rowdy. Can I pass this down and get a little bit more ice?
Yes, absolutely. Well, welcome to the Freedom Friends Sports Podcast.
right?
Well, it happens when you have a subject matter expert around. You kind of have to talk about it.
Speaking of sports, Army Navy games coming up.
It is.
Raise your hand if you care.
I mean,
No.
well,
Only because it's the only football game on next week.
Who do you cheer for as a Marine?
Navy. I've always rooted for Navy. I've gone to the Army Navy game, sat in the Army section, and
See, I feel like that is. I feel like that's a cop out.
No.
Like.
Go
as-
Navy,
as-
be like
as a
Marine Corps SEAL says Department of the Navy
Yes,
on it.
but as a Marine Corps infantryman, you are more closely related to the Army than anything the Navy has to
well,
offer.
here's the other thing too. So growing up, I used to go. My dad, we used to go to Army all the time.
That
being
you
from
were an
Massachusetts.
Army officer,
I know. I like to be in contrarian though.
I suppose.
But here's the thing: I have a problem. Like, I think Army should be a Division II school. I think some of their sports are probably good enough. Like 1AA. I don't think they have any business being.
I don't think any of the branch of service schools are large enough to technically qualify as a D1 school.
Air Force does a pretty good job.
The Air Force Academy has enough people to
You-
qualify as a
you-
D1
They
school.
have a better. Their football program's probably better than everybody else's. I don't know, and they also. I just.
So, in my opinion,
And
Because I'm pretty sure there's more cadets at A&M than there
in
is
my
at West
opinion,
Point right now.
the Army should never win. The Navy should always win.
Why? Just so they have something to feel good about?
No, because the Army actually has height and weight standards. And therefore our lines cannot be as good.
That's true. They
You know what I
actually
mean?
they can't be football sized.
They can't be fucking football
So that's why
size.
they run the offenses they run. So
Yeah.
you get a lot of move. You got a lot of that.
You know what?
Denver
I
Broncos
never
move.
thought
In the
about that, but
in the
yeah,
Navy,
fuck.
you can be a fat fuck
Yeah.
officer,
Sure.
and be on that line, and then go run a ship.
It's funny though. Like a lot of those guys though, they're all like.
But that's true,
Marines,
when even
or
like
they go
when a-
SEAls, like they're athletes.
When a huge,
So, yeah.
even a huge West Point cadet, if he's like 6'3", 6'4", he's going to be like 210.
He's gotta
like, he's
meet
not
the
gonna be
height and
that
weight
big.
standard.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
So
Never
I
thought
always
about
wondered.
that.
I always wondered about that because I've run into a bunch of those guys, and I'm like, hey, a buddy of mine in Iraq, and I'm like, hey, so like once you get, they have a bring a guy in to like help you guys lose the weight and shit. And he started laughing at me. He's like, no. I'm like, so you're gonna tell
They're
me
just
you're
not
like
allowed to beat
280,
a weight.
290, kind of fluffy, and they're not gonna square you away at like they don't bring a guy in and be like, hey, for the lineman, we've got a guy. We're gonna get you so you meet height and weight standards. He's like, no, and I'm like. I would never have. I'm like, you guys are fucking smoking
Yeah.
crack.
If you're on the Army team as a lineman,
you're fucked.
like either you're very disadvantaged,
Yeah.
or you're gonna be a shitty officer because you're gonna be a fat boy.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
Because if you're a defensive lineman that looks like a tight end, you're in trouble.
you're in trouble. Yeah.
So the kid,
So
the
when
kid,
the Army beats Navy, I'm really proud of them.
they play like both sides play like gimmicky offenses, like the triple wing and like shit that we haven't seen since like Rice in like 1923. They break those play and they play, and it's always
You got to hit him with a little razzle dazzle.
hook and ladders and fucking Statue of Liberties and fucking odd shit that you've never seen before. So I'm always just like, but I mean, we watched the game, but you saw how Army tried to steal a goat and fucked up, and they
Yeah,
stole the goat.
they got
from
the wrong
last-
one.
They got the wrong one.
They got the retired
Which-
goat.
Which is, I just think that's the state of our military right now. Like that just says,
Yeah.
okay,
You know
we
what?
stole the wrong fucking.
Well, you know
goat.
what
I'm
you do with
actually
the
glad you
retired
said
goat?
it that way, that it's the state of the military. It's not even the state of the army.
Right.
That's just kind of where the military
You know what you
is
do with
right
the
now.
retired goat? You fucking grill them up.
You grill
like
them up.
fuck.
Apparently, they keep like generations of the goat.
Really?
Yes. Apparently, there was a couple of goats to choose from, and they fucking grabbed the wrong one.
Yeah.
And they do that.
Good
mission-
initiative, bad judgment,
They,
sir.
dude, they like
You know what? That could
they
be
like
that
plan
could be
the
a
whole
strategic call
operation.
on the Navy, though. That could just be like, if we have multiple goats, it's like Saddam had body doubles. It's like the same
That
thing.
didn't work out for him.
Well, no, but
Or I mean, I
should have put the goat in a hole. I
Oh, there was a goat in the hole, I'm sure.
think you meant a hole in the goat.
Both.
there's definitely a hole in the goat. But so that's what we got next week because there's nothing. Watched Alabama absolutely kick the living dog shit out of what the fuck did they play? Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
It looked so good
And
through
they're
the,
gonna be
second, through the second quarter. It was like 10-0
It was
Georgia.
10-0, and then I was like, but yeah, I'm like every year Georgia fails me, and then I'm like, there they go. And I know you're a Texas A&M fan, and I believe Texas A&M has no business in the SEC. So you can have that
Fourth winningest team in the history of the SEC.
Oh, Jesus
It'll bring
Christ.
more money to the SEC, that's for sure.
Sure.
Well, they've been in the SEC for a while.
Have
a
they?
few years. Yeah.
It's UT you're thinking of that applied to get into the SEC, and they don't go till 2024.
But that's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
because Texas. I mean,
What,
it's-
which? No, I'm thinking of who's Mississippi in? And
well, you mean Ole Miss, and then
yeah, like those guys.
Miss. That they're
That's Big
SEC.
12.
No.
No, they're SEC.
They're SEC South.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's,
okay.
there's either
That's
the
what-
South and West. There's-
okay, that's
So
whatever.
A&M has SEC West, and then all of those ones that are in the deep South, like if the low country area, that's
Like
all
LSU
SEC
and
South.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, LSU just
But
got.
isn't in 2023? Aren't somebody's going?
2024
over there?
UT is going to SEC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I was.
Which it's
That's where the
going to
money
be a
is.
rough couple years.
Yeah. Well,
UT's going to have a hard time.
but
the
you're
first
going to
couple
get
years.
because of who
but
you're
their
playing.
recruiting is going to go
The
through
recruiting's
the
going to
roof.
it's going to take a couple of years. And
Because you got to keep in mind, like everybody that would say, like, I want to play at Bama because Bama's in the SEC, but liked UT,
Yeah.
is going to pick Bama anyways because they're in the SEC.
Yep.
With UT going, you're going to see a huge shift in where these players are deciding.
they're
to
all from
play.
Texas or Florida. You look at those kids. I don't know where, like, you being a Nebraska guy, like we talked about this before. I don't know where the fuck they recruit because they're not getting a
They're
Florida
not
kid.
recruiting.
They're not
That's
getting
the
some
problem.
fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Unfortunately,
I think most of the people that
Nebraska's team
attend
is in-
Nebraska are
is in
from Nebraska. Yeah.
No,
You have a lot of,
them,
you have a lot of.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
it's-
all of them,
it's
but a
about-
bulk of
yeah.
a bulk of their players are like from Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about probably half.
Like it's kind of a hometown.
Is it really?
It's kind of
Yeah.
like a hometown team. Like
Well,
it's,
I
everybody's
mean-
from there.
No, like Nebraska in college football is kind of, it's not as rabid as Texas, but it's a cottage industry in that state. Like
There's
that is
nothing
all
else
that
that's all
state
you have,
has.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you know,
And there's
I mean,
no
you
pro
get-
team. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
Like there's
So
just
the
the Huskers
Kansas City,
and that's
the
it.
Chiefs
The
fans
Chiefs.
for the
Yeah.
most part. But if you've got a kid and the kid's like, okay, I can go sit behind whoever at Alabama and I'm good enough. I can go sit behind Alabama for 3 years and play 1 year, or I can go to Nebraska and start as a freshman. Probably going to go to Nebraska. That's where you're going to get it out of UT. I can go to wherever, try to go to Alabama, or I try to go to Georgia, or I go to UT and start even
Yeah.
sophomore year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to UT.
And then UT is going to get you the exposure, which is
Yeah.
the big thing about if you can
Yes.
go, even if you get a season or two at Bama, it's the exposure. You have a higher likelihood of getting drafted. If you're behind somebody like Saban,
Yeah.
you're always being paid attention to.
Yeah.
So, but with UT going in, it's gonna shuffle a lot. UT's gonna have a rough couple years when they first go, and then after that, it's gonna be. But I'd had a conversation when I was up at College Station for that game with a couple of people that were up there, and we talked about the UT transfer and everything. And the big reason everybody was excited was they were like, "I just hope they bring the Thanksgiving game back,
That'd be
where
great.
A&M and UT
Yeah.
play on Thanksgiving again, because that was the tradition before
Oh,
A&M
that used
left
to be
the
Nebraska, Oklahoma. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yep.
fucking, I miss that.
Yep.
That was the tradition. And then when A&M went to the SEC,
Yeah.
they weren't in the same division anymore, so they didn't
They
play.
all can't go to the SEC, which is kind of like the funny thing. It's like everybody's going to the SEC, but
I just find it interesting that the Southeastern Conference is now like spread all the way over to like it's like just the southern half of the United States is the SEC now. Like
yeah, we just had
because you have the Southeastern Conference West. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they got that.
it's
big
West
thing.
by Southeast.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like that doesn't.
Justin, can you look up and see how many teams are in the Big 12?
On it.
and not 12 anymore.
It's not 12 anymore.
No.
Like, change the name.
I mean, look, Michigan's always going to friggin' Ohio's always going to draw.
Yeah.
They're always going to be able to recruit. They've got a good, it's funny when you see Michigan kids go to Ohio State and Ohio State go to Michigan, but I lived in Columbus and it's like people are the Garnet and Gray, like they're fucking batshit.
Yeah.
Those people. And you've got a bunch of pro football teams in the state of Ohio.
Mhm.
They don't care. They don't care about the Browns. They don't care about the Bengals. The Bengals are only an hour and a half away. They don't care. They don't care about Indy. Another hour and a half, 2 hours away.
That's like West Virginia.
Yeah.
You go to West Virginia, there is only WVU.
And Marshall.
That is it. Like they give a fuck about West Virginia, and that
Yeah.
it is. It's insane.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean,
You know, if before this podcast you would have said we're going to have a sports podcast, I would have sat in my office and done work. But I guess.
Yeah, but I get the feeling you're kind of enjoying this one.
I don't know.
There are 10 teams in the Big 12.
That totally makes sense.
And how many teams are in the Big 10?
There are 14. I already looked that up.
because of course.
See, makes perfect sense
absolutely.
That's some Common Core logic right there.
here. Right?
Yeah.
If you really want to bake your noodle, go try and figure out how they come up with rankings for college teams.
Oh,
Does
my
it-
God.
We won't even get into that, but you want to talk about a system that
What
doesn't
a
make any
fraud.
fucking sense at all.
Yeah.
It's literally just opinion.
Baylor's
Yeah.
going to get a mud hole stomped into them. by whoever they're playing Alabama or Georgia, and you're gonna get a repeat of the Georgia Alabama because I mean, poor Cincinnati, they're just not gonna be able to hang.
Yeah.
Neither one of those teams are gonna be able to hang, and they're gonna get killed, and it's not gonna be pretty. And then Georgia's gonna get killed again, and that's gonna be the end of it. And then we can get on to pro football. Get Buffalo and New England tonight. I can go on about that for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah,
if you really want to.
Let's not.
Yeah.
So I saw an interesting video that
Mac Jones. Mac Jones.
I saw an interesting video earlier today, actually, about trying to
Mac
get
Jones.
a gun permit in Japan,
Okay.
in the process of getting licensed to own a firearm in Japan. And they were like, and it was this huge drawn out process of what they have to do. So it was like, you have to apply with the local police, and then you have to, they do a full background check, and then you have to go take a written test, and then you have to take a skills test. Then they do a psych eval, and they come and inspect your home to make sure that you have like a place to safely store the weapon. Then you're allowed to purchase the weapon, so you can, and then there's a waiting list to be able to get the weapon, and like da 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 da. And they were like, and here's the gun violence per capita per 100,000 people in like, and it was like 0.12% compared, or 0.12 gun deaths per 100,000 compared to the 12.2 gun deaths
They're just not
per 100,000 in the United States. And I was like, okay, first off, let's just look at population density, because everybody likes to do that number of gun deaths.
Let's look at
but if you-
samurai sword deaths.
right?
Yeah.
Thank you. I see Justin typing away over there.
Well, it's the same concept
hacks
as
to pieces.
England made it to where you cannot be a private citizen and own firearms. And then their stabbing
You can have
got
shotguns.
so
Yeah.
out of
But you
fucking
can have a
control that they tried to go knife free as a country.
Yeah.
They had like,
Can you
they had like
imagine
recycling
knife-free?
bins that you were supposed to go dump your knife in.
I remember the slogan
I would
on
have
those
filled
fucking
that fucking thing
boxes.
with butter knives.
It was save a life, surrender your knife, and it was literally fucking mailboxes.
Yeah.
That had a slot that you just bloop, click, clap, done. You know, and I'm like, you're fucking retarded.
Well, and it just goes to show that it's all about intent. It's not, and so, but they were doing this whole thing. And I love that
I
they
would have
did
tried
it.
to park my car inside the knife turn in because it's probably killed more people than any knives all around.
And not only that,
Well,
if you
hammers have
happen
killed more people in the United States than
Yeah.
guns have. So
if you happen to be a criminal in the UK and you no longer have a knife, they've conveniently located all of the knives in a box, and you can go take your pick.
and that's like all the rage now, are these mystery blind box buys. It's like, I don't even know what I'm getting. Here's some money. I just get random shit.
Like, I think you can jump on eBay and you can buy
Australia.
TSA surrendered. You can buy a bundle of
There's a
TSA surrendered
website.
knives.
Yeah.
And you get like, I think you can bid on like you can buy them in 5 or 10 pound
yeah, you buy it
increments.
by the pound.
It's fucking hilarious.
I know
Yeah,
a guy
might
that
get
did
some
it,
stuff.
and I think he bought 5 pounds of knives for $50, and there was like 4 Benchmades in it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you
he
get a
ended up
couple
with like
Benchmades.
$1,000 worth of knives for like $50. I was like, holy shit! I'm sure you probably end up with a lot of garbage too, but
Going down this rabbit hole, you've seen the shit in friggin' Australia where they've got these people in concentration camps now. This is what fucking happens when you give away your fucking guns.
Yeah.
Like they're putting
They're beating the shit out of people in the name of public safety.
oh, speaking of Australia, do you remember when I brought up the whole mice infestation thing?
Yeah.
When we talked about that? So apparently, they're Southern Hemisphere, so their seasons are reversed. So like during our summer, it was their winter. And like everything went dormant. But now we're going into winter and it's going into their spring and summer. And all of these mice have come out and bred even more. And so like their whole country is on fire. There's no food. And it's like the plague, like from Egypt going on there.
And they're
Like-
worried about COVID.
and they're worried about COVID.
Yeah. Although they have that newscaster down there that fucking cracks me up because he just like calls people out and they haven't taken him off the air. And somebody brought up the Omicron variant. And he was like, wait a minute. If everybody in we have closed borders, nobody's allowed in, nobody's allowed out. Everybody's vaccinated. How the fuck did we get this Omicron variant? Like, where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, the real science would state that viruses mutate. Like, you can,
Well, and what are the symptoms of this Omicron?
it's just like the flu.
It's very
No, it's mild.
mild.
Yeah.
It's less than Delta.
It's the symptoms of a hard day at work.
Yeah.
Fatigue.
Which to liberals is like a tough thing.
Maybe-
Yeah, but nobody around here knows what that is.
Maybe people are just worn the fuck out over all this at this
Yeah.
point. And it's like, It's Omicron variant. Nope, I'm just tired. I'm just tired of this shit.
Nobody cares.
Additional
They're like, the
croutons, good
Omicron
sir.
variant, like gas went up and the friggin' markets tanked for like a couple of days. And everybody's like, yeah, I don't care.
The funny thing is that I got a COVID test. I was never told what variant I had. Just had.
Did you
COVID.
want the Delta variant?
Thank you, sir.
I don't even know what I had.
Maybe you had your own variant.
I just want to know how the fuck we got from Delta to Omicron.
Well,
What
yeah,
happened to
there's-
everything in
we
this.
skipped-
There's like 14 letters in between there.
Yeah.
And one of them, what was the
Somebody's
one?
watched too much fucking sci-fi.
There was I heard that we skipped over the Chinese,
the Chinese Z,
sounding one.
the Xi, the Z, the Xi,
yeah,
the Zoo.
because we didn't want to offend them.
We didn't want to offend their
Zeta.
Their
president.
sensitivity.
Also, Scott, I found a hole in your sword death theory. Apparently, in Japan, it is illegal to have a blade longer than 15 centimeters.
Are you fucking serious?
We
But-
neutered the shit out of those people after 45.
They're also not allowed to have a standing military.
Yeah.
No, that shit's changed. You
They
see
did-
the shit
they did
recently.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
But I
they-
did find that in 2007, they had 609 stabbing deaths. So instead of like mass shootings, they have just serial stabbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
they're Japanese, so it's just a small blade.
I've eaten my Captain Crunch with a knife.
The Japanese prime minister kind of went off the rails. Well, kind of went off the rails and basically told the Chinese, look, if you're gonna have a problem, we're gonna go along with the Americans. We're gonna defend Taiwan. So obviously the Chinese absolutely lost their fucking minds and were like, no, it's gonna be bad, blah blah blah. So now you've got the Japanese and the Chinese freaking screaming and yelling at each other.
Because that's never happened before.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, they killed like millions of Chinese and South Koreans. So, but yeah. So you get that, and then the Australians are all everybody. If they ever decide to come off their fucking continent, with the
Fix yourself. I want to come visit. God damn it,
it's
Australia.
like fucking. I've got relatives there. We can go. I've
Yeah.
got relatives. I've got relatives all over Australia too, so we could like bounce.
Oh shit.
It's like
All
the
on-
nice places.
It's all on fire, though.
Speaking of Jim and I going places, we're gonna go to SHOT Show together.
we are.
Are you?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Ah.
I've been in Vegas during SHOT Show. I've never actually been to SHOT
Jim
Show.
actually wants to go to SHOT Show. So.
Yeah. I kind of want to. Yeah, I do.
I want to
wanna
walk the
see it.
floor just once. Like,
Yeah.
I've been to Vegas a couple times during SHOT Show,
Yeah.
but I've never actually like gone
Well,
and like
it's like
walked
having
the
a kid.
floor.
I'll make you feel young again by walking through there.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you'll-
You know, I want to. I know there's a whole segment of the SHOT Show that they've got like tactical vehicles and they've got guys who've done like their Humvees up and stuff. I want to see that because they have.
There's not a lot of that.
Well, some of the guys I follow are like, hey, we're here. We sell a product that
Yeah.
you can kind of buy for different things. But I just want to walk around and just see.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is I just want to walk the floor once.
yeah.
Never been.
It's not like I want to go to like multiple days of the show. Like,
But-
I'm willing to do like the half day walk around and be like, oh,
So
okay, that's what it looks like.
But,
and then leave.
but a half day. Okay, to stop at every booth at SHOT Show
Yeah.
over 4 days, you could spend 20 seconds at each booth over 4 days.
But I don't think I need to stop at every booth.
Well, that's
what
true.
he's saying. But
But all the booths you want to stop at aren't just conveniently in a line.
Sure.
They're here. I mean,
that's like going to the Arnold. Like I've gone to the Arnold enough times that I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But
Like, I'd like to
go to
for
SHOT
every normal people, be like, wow, it's this, it's
Yeah,
that.
I'd like
it's
to go to SHOT Show
dates and
once.
shit.
I'd go to the Arnold and walk around the Arnold. and see
You'd be
that.
like, and that's the same thing. It is so big,
yeah.
and you don't get to see everything. But it's just like I'd be like, okay,
But at the same time, I want to go to that giant toy show that they do in L.A. That's like the entire. That's the entire L.A. Convention Center, and that one's like. I think they said that show from one end to the other is like 2.5 miles or something like that.
I'd like to go see because they've got stuff that you have, the 70s, this and whatever.
There's also shit there that's like we made 10 of these and you're never gonna see them again.
is the Arizona gun show. There's an Arizona gun show. I guess that's the one because a buddy of mine used to go and I'm like, why are you going to a fucking gun show in Arizona? It was all automatic weapons. It was like. Is that like a thing? Like people go to get like class 3s there?
So that used to be Knob Creek.
Right.
Knob Creek had a gun show. And
Yeah.
that was a class 3 gun show.
Yeah.
That was a great gun show. Arizona has has a big one.
Yeah, that was just this past weekend or 2 weeks ago.
There's a bonkers one in Oklahoma City too.
Yeah, that's the big one in Oklahoma.
That one, I think that one
What's it
is. I do not remember.
Yeah,
I've got a couple of buddies back in Nebraska that they would go every year, and it's like a 4-day show,
Yeah.
and they still won't make it through the entire thing. Like
and that
they-
one's open to the public or is it industry only?
No,
no, it's
that's-
open to the
It's
public.
industry only.
Yeah, it's Well, no, it's open to the public.
Yeah.
It's just
It's just like Knob Creek or whatever. Like Knob Creek is, but like you go and they have a course, and if you want to, like, you can strap a flamethrower on and like run the course of the flamethrower, or they have the thing where they've got like a guy rolls in because it's right next to Fort Knox. They got a guy and he's got an older dually, not like yours, but an older dually, and he's got the back of it. He's got a Cobra gunship front on the back of the dually, and you get to go in there, and then they do the Mad Minute, and you pay however how many hundreds of thousands now, I imagine. But like you can get every obscure, like my buddy would go because he was a gun guy. Every obscure, like weird.
Yeah, if you need a part for a weird ass gun
and some weird, like a weird round,
weird ammo,
and weird ammo, and they'd have pallets of it, and it'd be all dusty. Be like, we just found this in fucking Lithuania for the Lithuanian blah 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 blah. And my buddy would be like, oh, I have one of those, and he'd go buy the whole pallet.
Yeah.
Have you seen that place in Poland, the tank museum in Poland?
Yeah.
Oh, the one in Gdansk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you fly to Poland, it's $500 to go drive the tank, and then it's
It's
$100 a round.
Yeah.
It's $100 a round to shoot the fucking tank.
Oh,
You know
I was
what?
like, it's better than these guys
It's
up the road.
$1,000 a round to do it out there.
Well, in Poland, they probably just pick it up from somewhere.
And it's not even just like one tank. Like you
have
apparently walk
leftovers.
through their freaking like stable, and you're like, I want to drive that one.
Well, they're
And,
they're getting ready to get rid of all their Russian shit because we're selling them because they've got Leopard 2s, and then we're selling them M1s. So all those Russian shit's probably all going to go on the market too.
Yeah, but the problem with an actual Russian tank,
like a T-34.
No, like T-72.
is well, those are one, they're expensive. Right. Two, they're heavy.
Right. So
And
You can't drive those on the roads because they're super
well,
heavy.
the F-450 wouldn't be able to pull that. You need a semi and a low boy. And
I can't imagine flying to Poland's very
Can
expensive.
you get the
$500 to drive a
stats on how heavy a
Panzer.
T-72 tank is?
$500 to drive a Panzer.
They're
I think
heavy.
I'd be down.
It is Russian junk though. So
Yeah, you like literally sit on a milk crate in those things.
41.5 tons.
Woo! I don't think you're pulling that.
no,
we need a low boy.
yeah, 41 tons.
Fuck.
Well, that's why they have the Himmet
that's
to pull the
84,000
M1.
pounds.
84,000 pounds.
Well, the M1 has its own trailer.
82.
Like it's a custom-made
82.
trailer
Right,
for
yeah,
the
the Hetz.
M1. Yeah, the Het's awesome.
You
though.
can buy hats. You can't buy I've never seen the trailers for sale, but
The
I've seen
trailers are for sale, and they cost more than the Het
Yeah.
because they're fucking badass trailers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
If you
But that Het,
buy a Het,
you
I
can-
know someone that can drive one.
Because
I could drive
every
one.
single axle turns on the Het trailer.
Yeah, they're
like
pretty cool.
I love hats.
They're
It's like the
dope
Mad
as
Max fucking.
shit.
They're so fucking cool.
They are so cool.
Yeah. And you, dude, with the thing is because you get the back seat and you can put TVs and a great sound system in there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then it'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, no,
And it'd just be like,
they're not cheap.
No.
They're about 45 grand. You can
they get them on. Fucking
They have to work
Iron-
on a button.
Iron Planet or
You
whatever.
literally just has a button that says forward. You just push the button.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Like,
whole.
that's
rack
the
of
whole.
buttons.
So there's a whole thing of buttons, but to
Yeah.
actually make it go, there's literally just a button that says forward. You just click the
Yeah.
button. If that's lit up, then we're going forward. Like that's
fucking so cool. They
that's
were
it.
So cool.
They're dope as shit.
Yeah.
I didn't get to drive it, but I got to sit in it. When you're sitting there, and
I
you're
always
just like,
used to go all the time, and it's like, you want to get on the bus?
well,
you
yeah,
wanna do
because
this,
you
wanna
were
do
actually
that?
around M1s. Like,
No, I'm like, I want to be in the. I want to see the hat because it's fucking
It's
cool.
dope as
The
shit.
guys
See,
are just like fucking rolling.
I would pull the fifth wheel off the back, and I would put a camper, like just make an off-road
Put a
camper.
Yeah.
camper shell?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
No,
Just-
not a camper shell.
just
a
a
camper.
a het,
Well, no, but
a
that's
het
what I meant.
overlander.
Just
Is that
like-
what you want to build a
Yes.
het overlander?
Yes.
You could do a
Yes.
ton.
Yes.
You could have a fucking swimming pool in the
I
back.
100% endorse this idea.
Right.
This is amazing.
This is a great idea.
An armored
So
camper.
So no trailer. You want to remove the fifth wheel where the trailer hooks up,
Yeah.
and on the back of the chassis,
Yeah.
build just a camper.
Yes,
So-
you put a door in between the
Sure.
back cab so you can just go into the camper.
So you want an overlander that could pull a tank if you needed to.
Yeah.
Yes. You need an
This is
overlander to pull your
amazing.
tank.
No, a hat would make the tank I want to buy look like a little
We
fucking
could put something else
four-wheeler.
on it.
That'd be a toy.
Yeah, it'd be an ATV.
Oh, yeah.
that you could put. We could put a swimming pool on that thing.
I could
That
put
would
my
be like
I could put
pulling
my
your
tank
side by side.
I could put
Yeah.
my tank not on a trailer, just on the back of the hat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Yes.
It would
It
fit,
is
yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Why
That's
do you
the-
think I'm like talking about this?
That's
is a
some
great idea.
A-team shit. If you
Yeah.
could just rapid deploy your tank off the back of your freaking head,
Yeah.
no trailer, just
It costs us $10,000
some-
to drive it anywhere with the fucking gas prices.
Right.
Yeah.
just some ramps that drop down. Your tank
Yeah,
just
that's it, man.
comes off.
Michelle can't
that's
listen to
the
this
one-
podcast because
yeah,
we got some
no.
really good ideas.
That'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
That's the one thing that I miss about Speedway Motors.
Then take it to SEMA.
The problem with my tank is I backseated it to doing the Baja
I know.
500.
There was a thing, Jesse James, because he's up
Yeah.
here. Did you see that picture he had of that fucking flipped over fucking thing? It wasn't the ones in the Baja. It was another race. And I kind
It
of
was
wanted to
one of
look
the
up that
Bajas.
race and be like, maybe we should do.
No, it was one of the Bajas.
Was it one of the Bajas? It was like a 400 or 500.
The Mint 500?
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
that's the
It's a Baja.
it's a Baja. So we're all gonna you're gonna drive. I don't know who's your co-pilot, but we're gonna be pit crew for that.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
100%.
So,
We just got to get a badass like the road vehicle that gets between stages.
well, you'll have
Yeah.
the 450.
It's not a lot of fun, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd
No,
want
I
something
just
long
want something
travel.
cool to like. I want
Oh,
to like fucking zoom across the fucking desert like on blacktop.
What you want is like at that point you want like a rally car. Like the capabilities of like a rally car to do the road between the stages, because you don't have to
yeah.
run the dunes. It's like a double track that you can run between the stages. So if you had like a rally car that you could still hit like a $130, $140 on these double tracks,
Well, we're
and they've
gonna
got
be
the
in the
suspension
Baja.
travel, and you can just
You're
full
on the-
send this
you're-
rally
We're
car.
the hardball. So
You're
it's
on the
just-
road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are rally races.
We're gonna have some fun while you guys are trying to not kill yourselves.
yeah.
We're gonna go like get after it.
So
So I don't want to take your truck.
So you can go run like King of Hammers as an amateur too.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a mini Baja, but
Well,
it's more rock, less sand.
I want to do it in a side by side.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to do the mini class or whatever?
Yeah,
What's
there's
the
diff-
tiny class called?
Oh, it's a UTV class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were like trying to buy one of those trucks.
No, I can't
he's
afford
gotta
a Baja
fucking-
truck.
we gotta-
I
he's
gotta
gotta
start
work-
somewhere.
Yeah.
We're gonna load it up with fuel. Let him say, you need to take a piss, nigga shit, open your mouth, squirt some water in his mouth, fucking gets in and fucking rolls. And then we're just like, gone.
Actually, the truck's not bad because you're supposed to pull all of his. Like you need the racks with all the tires and stuff
Yeah,
on it because you're going to smoke all that out. But-
Not on a UTV. You just need a couple spares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have it. They'll have it on him too. And then we'll fuel him
Yeah.
up and then
Yeah.
he fucking rolls. And then the fuel
one
that he's
extra,
carrying is like
one
the
extra
emergency fuel.
axle and
Ah,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You'll blow that stuff out faster than you think.
we'll see.
Like, go watch some of the documentaries and stuff
I
on the
have.
shit they have to swap.
I've been
like even
watching a lot of it.
even the bikes that and they're like,
This,
my whole back end's gone. They have to like swap out
I
all the whole
watched a
suspension.
documentary, and it was about a father and son team that did Iron Man, meaning they're the only riders
Right.
on the Baja 1000 on a fucking dirt bike.
Yeah. If you do it, you need to paint that thing like
Hey, but
Those
so,
guys.
blue
so for
color
your pit
and call
crew,
it the
I
blast.
want a fucking full on fucking suit though. With like warfighter.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I want a fucking suit.
Yeah,
I want the
full
fucking I want the
jumpsuit.
mics.
This is getting
We
more
want-
expensive as time goes on here, but yes.
No, we'll
Oh,
get
I'll
like
pay for my own
yeah,
shit.
I'll buy my own like Dickies jumpsuit. I just want it like all warfightered out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we need sponsors. So if you want to
Are
sponsor,
you talking about like a full like Nomex that we can like zip up
Oh
and everything?
yeah, I'll put my own. I don't give a fuck. But
Yeah, I'll
do that.
we're doing this. We're doing this.
With the helmets with the built-in mics.
Yeah.
so Warfighter needs sponsors for the Baja
Yeah.
so that we can afford to do this.
Everybody's looking at us like we're crazy. We're refueling with cigars.
Fuck yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's vapors that burn, not the liquid.
Oh, we'll be fine. It'll be so much fun.
Scott, if you
Oh,
can
I'm
get,
down. Don't get me wrong.
This is going to be so
Yeah,
much fun.
and I'm relatively handy with a wrench.
Scott, if you
good.
can get ready pretty quick, King of Hammers is in a month and a half.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
We're,
that ain't gonna
we're
happen.
away. We're like a ways from it.
King of Hammers will fuck your vehicle up. I don't give a fuck what you're driving.
Nice.
That thing will
So
break
much
your
fun.
rig. And I mean break your rig. What's that other one too? There's the lemon something or whatever, and like you race it, but the vehicle with all the modifications can't be worth more than $1,000.
Oh, the
Oh.
24 hours of lemons.
And but it's like it's an off-road race too.
Really?
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like but the vehicle in its entirety can't. So there's people that will buy stuff and then purposely break it so that it's worthless, so that they can mount it on the car and shit like that. But the car can't be worth more than $1,000 when you do the race.
That's funny.
And I think it has to have a cage in it. The cage doesn't count towards value.
Yeah.
And there's like
So
some, and you have to have a fuel
things
and a
that you
fuel.
want for
You have to
that
have a
thing
fuel
to
cell
get it going.
Yeah.
Like, well,
And that doesn't count towards the
that's your
value.
$1,000.
Yeah, the bad thing about the Baja, even with the UTV,
It's so expensive.
is it's going to be a $50,000 vehicle.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Dude, the guys at Audio Source, that's all they do. They do those fucking monster badass side by sides.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude, he's got like when you walk into his store, he's got pictures of the ones that they've
Have you
done
talked to these guys next door?
that are like in magazines and like won this prize and that prize. They're gorgeous side by sides.
But did they just do the audio work for it?
They do like
'Cause-
all the rap and everything. Right. Yeah.
Okay,
they do all
because for the Baja,
I'm
like
sure these guys would.
audio's not on the most important in
No,
priority.
it's not. Definitely not. But they
it's,
do.
It's somewhere toward the bottom
Yeah.
of.
You just need one.
They do a
big-
bunch of shit though. They do a bunch of work
Yeah.
for that.
You
They
just
do a
need
bunch-
one big speaker that can play Ride of the Valkyries as you come into the stages.
There you
like
go.
to redo it, just so you can just run that and then just turn it because you're not going to hear it after that. It's just
Yeah.
like
It's gonna be so much fun
that'd be amazing.
if we don't die. But
We
anyway.
will be fine.
Well,
Well, I don't know. That
if we have to go recover them, though, if they're like, look,
That
man,
depends
we,
on what
we
the-
broke, and yeah,
that depends
Yeah.
on what the stage vehicle is. Yeah, how good's the warranty on the F450?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not fucking killing his F1. We gotta go get something.
You
like,
won't. I'll see how fast I can get an F450 on a double track.
I would say bring the Humvee. The problem is we have to get it to Mexico.
Yeah, that's the problem. Man.
Maybe we can put the Humvee on the back of a trailer
Dude, that'd be
and then
so
pull
much
it
fun.
down.
Of course, your stage, like if we're going from point A to point B, your stage needs to be like this because that fucking thing goes 60 miles an hour on a best day.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless
It
we
would
get a
be-
sponsor that's going to give us an Allison and a Duramax.
It would be fucking hilarious to
watch.
watch this UTV pull into a stage though that had like a full Humvee and an F450, like all these giant fucking.
That's what we
That's
need.
what everybody
Because
has,
they're going to be
though.
like, who's this fucking new guy? They got a Humvee, they got an F450, they got trailers and a tank, and like we get 50 people.
running the
like,
UTV class too.
I wonder if you can do a tracked vehicle through the Baja. That'd be fun.
See, I'm like on the crew on that.
The
one, though.
problem is if you break it, you're fucked.
Yeah, could you imagine losing a track in the middle of a stage?
I know how to change track. I
We'd
don't
be
know how
out
to
there
change
and I'd be
track
like-
on a fucking Warrior
I'd be
or
like-
whatever the fuck.
I'd be
But
like,
yeah.
go ahead, Jim. I'm gonna supervise. I don't know what the fuck I'm
we're
doing.
gonna get the breaker bar out and we're gonna get the fucking impact wrench and we're gonna
you
do
have
some
40 hours to do 1,000 some miles through the worst terrain ever. I don't know if a
yeah, tracked
tank.
vehicle might be a bad
I don't
idea.
know if a tank is the
that. Those
best.
things fucking screw though. The ones you want screws.
Yeah, and I mean, but the Baja is the Baja. It's not like
I would start with the UTV.
It's the
Yeah.
It's the worst of terrains.
What's that company though that's making that weird tracked vehicle? It's
Oh,
like
the
the
Ripsaw.
UTV size. That's
the
that
tiny.
fucking
Ripsaw.
badass thing. That thing fucking
Now,
screws.
Oh my god! If I can get them to load me a Ripsaw for the Baja, that would be
It's so fucking cool. That
like
thing.
I'll just run in my own class. I don't care. I'm
That's,
just gonna do it. It's Ripsaw.
That's how and how
Yeah,
technologies.
how and how tech. Yeah. Oh, I gotta go talk to him. I gotta talk to him.
That could be amazing.
A Ripsaw through the Baja. Oh my god! How much fucking fun would that be?
and they're nice. They're like nice
They're
inside.
fucking
They're
awesome.
fucking
We need
gorgeous.
two. We need two to be one for the support vehicle and one to actually race it.
One
Anything
chase
that's remotely
vehicle.
tactical though, like I'm a crew member. Even if I don't do shit, if I'm running the radio, I'm in there.
Yeah.
But the fucking side by side, you and John or you and Dave maybe. Dave would be a good guy to take.
I
Because
think you
Dave's
should take
very
the boy.
level headed when shit's going wrong. So he'd be like,
John's my
okay.
navigation guy.
Yeah, he would
And then we
definitely.
can swap. You know.
Dave,
Like,
John is very good at unfucking. Yes, he would be. He unfucked us during the boat. Now when we had to fucking trying to get to fucking Party Cove.
Yeah, we
Uh,
need to try and get a hold of the fucking Ripsaw people because
Yeah.
that would be fucking amazing.
that would be cool. All right.
And they every video I've seen of that thing, and
Yeah.
they say that it's like it's invincible. Like you can't
Well,
we're gonna
try to
find out.
break it, and it's like we want to run at the Baja.
Yeah.
It's like
Dude, it would be
Oh.
it would be the easiest ride. It would be so smooth.
Oh,
through the
they
you would
Baja.
feel
float. You'd
shit.
look like you're floating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be fun.
just you guys are the only guys racing the Baja with cruise control. Just
Yeah.
Everybody
Oh,
be worn the fuck
like,
out and you'd
I
be like,
gotta-
oh, we're good.
past people. I'm just gonna go through the desert and okay,
Yeah.
we're good. Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
dude, like,
smoke's just billowing out of one window.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh.
Man. Oof.
Yeah. See, that's the solution.
What's the problem is some rich guy is going to hear this and he's going to take your idea.
Nobody
It's
rich
just-
listens
You
to this
imply
show.
that we have a
Yeah,
listener
you have
who's
the
rich.
wrong idea of our
never
customer
know.
base.
Nobody's listening.
I don't know. We have way more listeners than people that actually interact with us.
Probably.
Well, I'm sure the first 20 minutes of this podcast put them to sleep and then they're like, oh, then they got into it.
Baja with a Ripsaw. Man,
That'd be fucking
that's a
awesome.
great idea.
It's a fucking Michelle. Like, fuck you.
Well, no, not if we got them to give us one.
I just want to loan.
They loaned
just-
us one.
Yeah, loan. I'll just do it for the PR.
Yeah. You loan us the vehicle. We'll get it all wrapped. Like
Yeah,
we'll do
yeah.
all that pretty.
Yeah.
We'll do all the pretty part.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out the pit and everything. We just need the vehicle.
I'm just not sure that they're going to let us because I don't think it's a class.
I thought there was an unlimited class in the Baja.
Yeah, but I think there's
There's an experimental class,
but there's wheel requirements.
but there's an experimental class.
Yeah, I'll look.
Road. I mean, technically, you've got 6 or 7 wheels on each
Yeah.
side. It's
And you'd have multiple media people there.
Oh yeah.
So we could get them back. Media
Now-
on this thing running the Baja that
Oh my
I
god.
wonder if they'll put us through like a school, like the pit crew, a school, like a 1 weeker, like basically like 20 level maintenance. Like we could just get you back on the road kind of thing.
Oh, you mean the Ripsaw people?
Yeah, like just be like, yeah, this will get you like.
I bet.
fuck that.
I
Send
bet
us a
they
vehicle
would,
and a dude.
if they're going to loan us one.
Yeah,
they
they're
would
gonna send a
probably-
dude.
They would probably send a dude.
I'd be unhappy though if I could get in there and fucking.
Well, you could
I'm
you could
sure-
bang wrenches too, but
I got this, but I
Jim-
wouldn't get this, so that'd be the problem. I wouldn't get it.
Jim, they'll let you hold a flashlight.
That's all I'm fucking afraid
and then
of.
yell at you that it's in the wrong place.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Danny.
Like this is $100 million vehicle.
I don't know how much they cost.
They're
but-
like 60 grand.
No,
Yeah.
they are not. Justin, look up a Ripsaw. They're over 400,000.
Are they really?
Yeah.
But those things are basically handmade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not letting us go in.
Yeah, it's not a
Fucking
production
go anywhere
vehicle.
near that thing.
They
You
are.
can't fix it, but you can drive it.
They are $500,000.
Ah,
Yeah,
not
that's
that
what I
bad.
figured.
The Baja trucks are that much.
Yeah.
Although they do have a 1,500 horsepower.
Yes.
They max out
they're
at
haul.
55 miles an hour, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Baja,
That's good because
fine.
we
You get-
Because when the Baja trucks are doing 95,
It's all flat.
Yeah.
When they actually hit the dunes and all that kind
they're
of shit,
still
they're
their
hauling.
average speed is probably 40 something.
yeah. I've
But
read that stuff
But you
before.
wouldn't be competing with those.
Yeah, the
Hey,
average speed of that
what
race
you need
is
to
like
do
45
is you need to get a
miles an hour.
guy who's run the Baja on the show to tell you what it's really like.
I've been doing a lot of research.
Yeah.
No.
But I love to hear a guy be like, no, it's like,
So I've done a lot of research, and I listened to a couple podcasts about guys that did the Baja in UTVs, like
Yeah.
juiced up Polarises and whatever,
Yeah.
right? And most of the guys that have done it for the first time have never done it. I mean, it's their first time.
yeah.
Like they didn't have off-road racing experience.
Right, they didn't go race
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
else. They were just like, fuck it, we're doing the Baja.
And I think that's,
It's the way to do it.
I think you can overthink it.
Absolutely.
And I know there's a lot of stuff I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to volunteer to help somebody in a pit crew
Yeah.
and just go see how it's ran.
Yeah.
Fuck it, do it cold.
No. We're not.
You gotta have the gas and the
Because
pit shit,
even
right?
if they're fucked up, like, because they're driving, they don't know the terrain, they obviously. But if we're on top of it when they come rolling in, and we can fix their shit and get them comfortable enough to go roll out to the next stage,
Not a
They'll-
Ripsaw. We're not doing shit. You could fuel it.
well,
Wipe the
if-
windshield.
side by side, because that's probably where we're going
Yeah,
with this
it's-
thing. Yeah, especially the first time.
realistically, it'll be the side
Side by side. If we're on top of it, making sure that they're squared away, like just by watching the little guys, and they roll to the next day, we get it. It'll look better than us being a fucking bunch of monkeys fucking a football. So, even though I'm
Because
gonna
even
be
with
wearing,
training, it's going to look any different.
dude, I'm gonna be wearing my fuck, but I want to look like I know what I'm doing while I'm
we'll
wearing
be
my.
professional monkeys fucking a football.
Well, it's okay. It's just act as if.
I'm dressed for the job I want, not the job I have.
See, I want
That's
Black,
why I'm
I
in
want
HR
Black
dressed
Rifle to
as Batman.
sponsor it. Just like how like Monster sponsors it, right?
Yeah.
Then you get like free Monsters. I just want the free 300 milligram fucking coffees for the whole race because it's 36 hours of driving straight, right? Which I just got done practicing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You'll get to
I
do,
have
you'll
no,
get to do
I
it
have
again
no
here
doubt
shortly,
about your
too.
ability to fucking power through the 36 hours.
Well, and I think it'll be easier because I won't be driving on boring ass like.
Yeah, you're almost gonna die every time you fucking turn
Yeah.
a corner. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna be
Like,
awake.
I'm gonna be able to stay awake. I think.
Yeah.
So
Scott, are you looking to do the 500 or the 1,000?
I want to start out with the 250, and then I want to do all of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
shit.
But I want to start out right. I want to start out like having the side by side, doing it, figuring out what the fuck I actually need to do right because I'm gonna fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
your first time. But then eventually I want to be able to do the 1,000. And the last 1,000 was actually 1,130 some miles.
Huh.
So it varies. Each year it's a different track or different race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
No, yeah, I definitely want to see how the pit crew, like what they get, like what we need to provide you guys as you come in, and
but I
what you'd want to be on a.
I think if I go and I do one and we
Yeah.
get to know people,
Yeah.
then we might pick up some sponsors and be able to afford to do it more because it's expensive. Like
It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking
Mini races in
average
it.
dude's fucking.
what's that?
Mini races in it.
The what?
Mini Cooper. There's
Oh,
Mini Coopers racing.
There's a class that's like pre-70s.
Yeah, but there's new ones. So they made a Mini Cooper Countryman All-4. It's an
Oh my
all-wheel
God.
drive
It's a rally
Countryman.
race kinda-
It's essentially, but it's a long travel suspension, and I mean it's juiced all the fuck. It's built
Yeah.
by BMW to go race this thing, but
That's funny.
it's a custom built Mini that races the Baja. They won their class like 3 or 4 years ago.
If you've got Mercedes Benz behind you,
Yeah.
you should
Beamer.
probably
Yeah,
do well.
BMW.
Yeah. You've got fucking German engineers. I mean,
Which just means if it breaks, it really fucking breaks. But if it doesn't, it runs like a
we're not.
champ.
We can't fix this thing because it's one of a kind part. But
Yeah.
if it doesn't break, we're good.
But yeah, mini races in it.
No, I'm definitely behind this. I think this is the fucking one of your next to the tank. This is probably your best idea.
Well, like I said, I put the tank in the background,
I
and I'm
know.
going to do this Baja thing first.
The thing is that with something like Baja racing, if you build the vehicle for it, you can go race Baja, but then there's other races that you could take the vehicle to go do. Tanks are awesome, but all you're really going to do with it is just like drive it around.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
having a Baja race vehicle.
But it is a tank.
Oh, no, I just said they're awesome. Like, I'm not denying the fact that tanks
He's
are
only
awesome.
saying he's awesome because I'm right here and I could choke the life out of him.
No, tanks are fucking great.
Thanks, pal.
Like, tanks are great. It's probably the only MOS I really regret not legitimately looking at was to go
Yeah.
fuck with tanks, because tanks are fucking cool. Like,
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I will say this: if I had to do it all over again, I would have been a dog. Stayed enlisted, and been a dog handler in the Marine Corps. But anyway, all right, talk amongst yourself.
no, tanks are they're fantastic. It's probably the only real piece of like military history I actually read is like tank on tank warfare and all that kind of stuff. Because
Yeah,
that's
it's kinda
fucking
like what-
legit.
The history behind tanks
They're
is
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah.
Because there was so many. Like,
Well, and then even if you watch like the 10 or 15 minute YouTube videos about like modern tanks and what they're doing with them and shit now,
Yeah.
you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Russians just
that
deployed
new Russian
to,
one is
it's
So
fucking
the
insane.
Are you talking about the Armada or the? So they just deployed to Ukraine. That's going to be our next fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Then now they got 150,000 dudes set up. It's a T-70 on a T-72 chassis, but they pulled the turret off of it. It's got a 105 main gun, missiles, chain guns, and a fucking crew served. And it's a tank support vehicle, and it's going to be able to lay down like a shit ton of fucking firepower.
No, their new main battle tank
The
that came
Armada-
out like
the
2
Armada.
years ago.
Yeah,
or whatever.
so-
That thing is what the fuck.
Well, now they're going to be able to afford it with the price of fucking oil. Yeah, it's. We'll see what happens. The other tanks I'm talking about actually.
Although that new upfit that they did for the M1 is bonkers too.
The M1A1, the M1A2 Tusker or the M18, what it's going to be. Yeah, but it's
And it's an upfit. It's like they were like, we just have to refit the tank with this crazy $7.8 million upfit per tank. It was like, but it's got like a perimeter defense system that just shoots shit out of the sky when it comes near it and shit.
Hopefully
Like it's it jams every radio signal near it.
I was an A1 tank. Like we were the last of the fucking
It
like if shit
disguises
goes, we
its
can
own.
hand crank it.
It
but yeah.
disguises its own heat signature and shit. Like
Yeah. The
was like,
new tanks like the
it's
M1,
nuts.
the M1, but the Armada, like the Armada. If they can build it, it's a pretty impressive thing. But they don't have a bunch of those.
they have like 2.
Yeah, because it's expensive. But now that oil is back through the roof again, that's why Putin wants to keep the fucking thing so he can all these cool guy 5th generation fighters and the tanks and stuff. He can
Well, it apparently had
afford
a
all that.
major heating problem on the inside.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Russians do stupid shit. Like on the T-72, it's got a loader, so it's a 3-man crew, which is not a good idea because when the tank breaks, you've only got 3 guys instead of 4. That's a big deal. But they'd have a problem, especially in the 70s and like early 80s. You'd end up loading the loader or the one guy, his arm would get stuck in it and the self-loader, and you'd load half a guy. So, yeah, that's not a good thing when you load half one.
In
of the
all
crewmen
fairness,
into
the Russians were the same ones in World War II. Were like,
Oh, I know.
like during the fight were building tanks and rolling them out of the factory onto the battlefield. Like it was
Same
like,
guys would fucking put a landmine on a fucking German Shepherd and have it go take out a German tank. So.
Yeah, that didn't work out for him.
But apparently that new one, there's like a bit of an overheating issue on the interior like floor plate, and people were like getting stuck to the floor plate of the inside of the tank.
because there was melting their boots. Yeah.
Yeah, but it would like rapidly melt, and then it was starting to like burn their crew, like cooking them inside of the tank. And it was like,
there's another guy for that.
and Russia. Like that.
Dude, they're a hardcore fucking people. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Like the Russians, the Poles.
Have you seen their heating system? Like the way they heat their like housing systems in the cities? So it's one big central plant that has water that gets pumped into it, and they boil it, and there's these giant like 18-inch pipes that run above ground to all of the buildings that are insulated. And so it's a centralized plant that boils the water that runs into the radiators and shit in people's houses to keep their housing warm. And it's like, you know, you could do this. Like they make these things called water heaters, but you can put like just in individual dwellings. The Russians like, no, fuck it. We'll pipe it there.
Dude, they're hard. They're fucking, their people are hard. Well, we're fucking around talking about diversity and this, that, and the other shit.
Yeah, they're hard.
They're fucking hard. Like, and there's 150,000 of those motherfuckers
problem is
sitting on the
they're
Ukrainian
dumb.
border ready to fucking come south or
The
come
Russians
east or west.
fucking dumb.
Are they dumb? I don't think so.
They're incredibly intelligent, but they are extremely dumb.
They're hard-headed.
There's no common sense or just like logic. Like their science programs and their push and all that kind of stuff. It's all there. Like there's definitely a desire to be like as advanced as humanly possible.
Just like the Chinese.
But then there's, sort of. Except for Russian engineering is actually quite a bit better. But then they're just dumb. Like there's shit that you just see and you're just like, what the fuck? Like how does this make any sense? Like they tried to make their own cars at one point, and one of the features that they stuck in their cars was a hatch on the passenger side that opened up so you could ice fish through the floor of your car. I was like, this is not a feature you need. Like, how about you just get one that runs reliably? And they're like, no, fuck it. We don't need a good engine. But ice fishing from my car, yes, this is good.
I don't know. If I lived in
can't argue
fucking
that.
Minnesota, I might want
I
to.
was just gonna say, if you lived in a country where it was frozen
Most of the year.
11 months of the year, I'd be all right with being able to fish from inside my vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, if the fucking heater works.
Yeah, but that's so like insanely specific.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I understand crazy features on cars that almost nobody has. Right? Like you can get a Bentley that has a humidor and a whiskey chiller in the back seat.
Makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
I totally get it, right? But the thing is, you see a lot more fucking Fords rolling around than you do Bentleys, right? So you don't see crazy features like that are
but
niche features.
If I ever fucking win the lottery,
This was supposed to be like Russia's Ford.
Sure.
Like this was supposed to be their primary vehicle. And I was like, why this
I may not-
feature?
but if I ever win the lottery, like I win like the $500 million things. Like none of you people are ever working another day in your lives.
I like to hear that.
Well, I'm taking care of everybody because everybody's. But we're gonna have a Bentley just for that reason.
And who's going to be the driver? Like we got to
you hire a
fucking
motherfucker.
guy.
Yeah.
My security team, because God knows we're gonna have that much money that we're gonna need a guy.
We're gonna hire a dude, and he's gonna go by Jeffrey, regardless of what his name is.
Yeah,
Like, it's just
God damn it, my name is Steve.
no,
Okay, Jeff.
Jeffrey. This is where we're going.
Look, Bob. No, hey, did we go with Jeffrey? Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah, that was like this
Yeah.
week. This week is Jeeves.
No, but seriously,
we just keep changing it.
What a great idea, though. I mean, if you've got that much money that you're
No,
gonna
I'm
want,
with you.
You're gonna want.
Because here's the
your
deal: you went. When was that? When the Powerball hit like $1.4 billion or whatever.
You
the
ended up with like
obscene
$760 billion
even after taxes.
It was like $760 or some shit.
Right. You could literally every single one of the people I give a fuck about. I could be like, here's $10 million. Like
Yeah.
you're done with
Well,
everything.
yeah, I'm gonna pay off everybody's debt, so
and you're
we
not
can.
even gonna notice that you lost the money.
I'm
it's-
not going to give anybody money. I'm going to hire all of you.
Everybody just makes stupid salaries and it's
Stupid salaries with minuscule jobs.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Like you need to buy all my plane tickets or organize my travel.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You're the in-house travel agent.
I'm
Yeah.
still
So
I'm still doing
Well, the
shit.
one stipulation though, if like Scott, I'm gonna be like, we got to keep Warfighter going for like 5 or 6 years for cigars and like sponsorship shit. Like we want to hang out with all these fucking other people, and the company's a good way to like do that shit. But other than that, I'd be like,
Yeah.
Let's go take the 450 like off-roading and crash it and see what happens.
You could just
because
buy-
I'm just gonna buy you another one.
You could buy an F450 just to go do that.
Well,
Just be like,
yeah,
yeah.
whistle and diesel, like that's
well,
that
with
fucker
the
does.
bumper you just put on, maybe we don't want to crash. Right.
if one of us won that amount of money and we decided,
I'm taking
we
care of all
decided
of
to
you.
keep
I'm just telling you
Warfighter
that right
around.
now. I don't have
right?
kids, so we don't
Warfighter
have
could
kids
just
either.
become like the Red Bull
yes
of like tactical shit. Like it could just be like shooting sports, Baja racing,
Yeah.
like all this crazy like shit that we're all into. Warfighter could just become like the Red Bull of that world.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Make it-
Scott, sign. You're gonna contract. You can't sell. I'm gonna give you a shit ton of money, and we're gonna go travel the world. But for 5 years, you can't get rid of Warfighter. I don't care if you put somebody else in it. But nobody's.
Somebody else can run it, but
But
Warfighter has to be around.
stay. Then for after this, you
I
can-
will
you can
have
do-
my own factory at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
See that if in 5 years you're like that and I won, I'd be like, all right, we're keeping the fucking.
No, I agree with you
Just
on
so we
that.
can go to Nicaragua.
If you
and,
got
like,
that
hang
kind of,
out.
if you got that kind of capital, you're vertically integrated. And it's
Yeah.
like, I bought a farm and a factory, and
And I want a piece of the company just so I could be like, I'm part of
Yeah.
Warfighter, even though I don't do shit.
Oh, I'd have done the same
I just
thing.
want to have like when I'm at a booth,
no, I'm
I'll be like,
100%
I'm
with
part
you.
of Warfighter.
If I won $700 million, yeah, I'd walk in here and be like, all right, I want in.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything. I just want in. And
What do you
everybody's salaries just went to this,
Yeah.
and we're gonna like.
Yeah.
I want to. I
can
want to be
imagine-
able to travel around and do shit and still do the podcast, and we're gonna go do crazy, stupid shit. We're gonna
Like,
race the Baja,
like,
and we're
especially
gonna go
like,
shoot
like
this
you
and-
guys have kids, so you got to kind of like have that generation.
like,
thing.
we
I don't
don't-
have kids.
I don't have
I'm
kids
burning
either.
through that 700 million.
Yeah, who am I gonna leave it to? I'm not leaving it to anybody.
Now there may be like 500 million left because that. I mean, I'm not that big a car guy that I'm gonna be like, but like probably moving out of the state of Texas to like Montana. I'm buying a lake. We're gonna have stupid boats. I'm like, Scott, what kind of stupid boat do we need now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We
I'd
need,
make sure
we
certain
need
things
the,
were
we
set
need the
up.
jumping boats.
I'd make sure certain things were set up. Like Justin wants to have kids.
So you take care of them.
Right. So I'd be like, look, you're never going to have any debt. Your
Yeah.
kids are absolutely going to go to school. And if they graduate school, they're all getting houses. Like we'd make, like all of your kids would be set for life. Like it would, like
We'd
nobody
have
would
to
ever
make sure
worry
that,
about
that shit was
anything.
taken care of. But after that, we're like,
Yeah, but after that, it'd be like, so now that we've spent this 50 million, we got 730 million to go. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
fucking.
like at some point in my life, I want to get my pilot's license and know how to fly.
So we'll buy an
had,
airport.
If I had that much money, though,
buy
I'd
an
be like,
airport.
no, I'd buy a pilot. Like, you
And, yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I don't need to know how to fly.
yeah, because you just don't want to be like,
I want to get drunk in the back.
Scott, it's like,
Jeez,
I don't
you
wanna-
belong
You
to
can either
me.
learn to fly a Cessna or you can be hammered in a G5. Like,
Right.
which one do you want to do? It's like,
Yeah, I don't want to have like that like newspaper story like this rich guy was so rich, but he flew his fucking bullshit whatever.
Yeah.
the
already
fuck-
lawn darted into a mountain because he
in
didn't know what the
Alaska,
fuck
like,
he was doing.
disappeared with like his friends and no, I want a guy who can fucking fly the bird.
Yeah.
I want a crew of people who are like, did you get to where you need to go? Oh,
Now, on the G5, we have to have 5-point harnesses because I will make the pilot go
Barrel
inverted.
roll.
Yeah. You need a barrel roll now. We're all ready.
Just have a button with that Star Fox sound. You just hit the button and it goes, do a barrel roll. And it just fucking.
I would buy the Tico Bell and spend the rest of my life jumping out of it. Yes.
all right, dude. Whatever.
You still haven't put a dent in,
Yeah.
Oh, I
the,
know.
in the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like RCPT. I'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what do you need to run for the next 10 years?
I would
But,
call
like,
Bill and be like, you guys don't need to spend $1 because it's covered.
Yeah.
I'd have so much fun though.
It'd be crazy. But no, I'm with you. Like my close friends would never want for a fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
I take care of everything.
And then I'd make sure that my money was making enough money to
Yeah.
where,
Right.
regardless
absolutely.
of where I spent shit, it'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, I made more than that. Like
Yeah.
it's
I just spent 50 million. Oh, I spent 30. Okay.
I wouldn't want anybody I hang out with though to be like, oh, like he's the rich guy. Like, no, I still have 30 million in my bank account. Granted, he's got 700 million, but the shit's still in my bank account, so
Yeah.
we can all hang together.
and all of
Yeah.
us,
You know,
all of us
like, it
know
would be-
people
yeah.
that are obscenely wealthy.
Yeah.
And almost all of them will tell you you do get to a point
we just don't need
to where it's just like it doesn't matter how much more I make than this.
Yeah.
Nothing changes.
It's experience level, like the Baja.
Yeah.
Like Scott, it would go from like let's participate to like no, we're winning this thing now.
Yes.
like
yes.
yeah, you know,
That's what it would go from.
Yeah.
It would be like, okay, I'm going to win this on my first try and I'm going to drive the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
do shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, we'd come up with an idea like the Ripsaw. And they'd be
Yeah.
like, it'd be cool to do it in a Ripsaw. And then you'd call them and be like, all right, I know they're $500,000. What does how much do we need to how much do we need to spend so that it wins?
Right.
Like, what do we need to do to your $500,000 Ripsaw? So that is it another $500,000? Like is it $1 million Ripsaw that wins it, and then we need a backup?
Yeah.
Like is
Yeah.
that where
Like,
we're at?
dude, we
Like,
fucked it up at 250 miles. Like, all right, blow the other one off the fucking backhoe or the fucking hep, and like, there you go. Just,
I agree.
but I wouldn't want to be the asshole too. So like the pit crews, I'd be like, all right, dude, we've got fucking, hookers and blow for everybody, or like whatever the fuck it is.
Or your pit crew,
That's
and you
the
look at them
finish
and they're-
line, Jim. You can't spoil them.
yeah.
God.
But for the 3 days of the race or whatever, and it's like,
Like,
all right,
guys, I need gas. What do you do? Get off her. I need gas. I'm here now.
I don't care that you put a gram in her asshole. Fucking let's go. Like,
No, for everybody
You
else's
should
pit
have
crew.
timed
I
this
don't want
better.
them to be like, these guys are assholes. Like,
I was
no,
on
I
the-
love these guys.
where our guys are all clean. You're just out there just blowing out all the other pit crews. And
Yeah,
just-
they're all a mess, and we're like, Scott, here you go, buddy. They're all fucking coked. You
Jesus
got a
fuck.
straight shot, kid, the whole way.
I never thought about it, but our crew, like we've all seen Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Oh, yeah.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine that that's a lot of what it would be like if one of us all of a sudden came up to obscene amounts of money.
I
It
would have
just,
a huge.
it would just be
I
that.
would have a huge party boat
yeah.
somewhere. I would have a 56, 80-foot boat.
Yeah. And
Like-
we'd have some building that was
Yeah.
just stupid.
The
It'd just be like,
clubhouse.
yeah, it'd just be like Warfighter would be in there, but then it would
It'd
be
be a
like
cl- it'd be a
everybody else's
clubhouse.
hobbies and interests and shit would just be like jammed into this thing. Buy some used mall and just be
Yeah.
like, this is ours now.
Yeah.
It's just, what is
feel
this?
like-
we don't know. It's just a,
Yeah.
it's a thing.
But the thing is that the
Oh, you
important
need
piece,
what? Go down to the old Gap store and grab it out of the shelf.
It's just like these,
What happened
these
to
guys are
JC
not
Penney?
assholes.
It's
Like,
an
I don't
indoor
want everybody to
shooting
be like,
range.
no, they're not
Goddamn
assholes.
right.
They're like, they take care of everybody when
That's
they
a
come in and do their
multi-level
shit,
shooting
you know?
range.
Hey, could you imagine that buying an old mall and you take like what used to be the fucking Sears and it's like
Yeah.
got a 500-meter indoor shooting range. Like this is fantastic.
You want to do some high angle?
A 2-level indoor dirt bike track.
Oh my god!
That changes
done that
levels
shit.
while you're riding it.
Yeah. You got to go up the stairs, but it's nice
Or like
and
those
dirt now.
like those crazy multi-level go-kart tracks.
Yes.
That, it's all that, but yeah. Man, fuck, I'd finally learn how to ride a motorcycle.
I'd buy you a couple of bikes, dude.
Yes.
Sick. Yeah.
There'd be at least one or two, probably
well, see, that's
two
when you're
Aprilia
smart with your
Tuanos.
money and you just like you buy like a Harley dealership and you're just like now I can get whatever
Well,
bike I want, but that continues to make you money. That's what I mean. Is
That's
like,
a tough. I mean, there's things I would buy and things I would rent. I would do it smart, so I'm not blowing. Like, if I'm gonna blow stuff, it would be like we went on vacation and we blew money. But like the big purchase shit, I'm like, no, man, I'll just go to the Harley dealership and buy.
Yeah.
CVS
well, that's
for
what I'm saying is that there's
yeah.
certain things that like I'm into it,
Yeah.
so I'll just buy something that I have access to it. So it's continuing to make me money, and when I want something from it, I can just go take it. And
And it's funny. I think like because you look at the sports people and everything, like the richer they get, the less people they just give them shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
So you just like, like I'm not gonna buy
Yeah,
a
the more
fucking
money you
Bugatti.
have, the less you actually
I'd like
spend.
to drive a Bugatti, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna buy one.
Right.
well, that's when you just
You know.
join one of those supercar clubs
And
where you're just like a member and you just go take whatever car you feel like driving at the time.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be like, wow, man, I just blew $1 million. Like, I'd still make me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Now, if we went on vacation and did it, all of us, I'd be like, okay, I
Yeah,
get
it'd be
that.
different. Like if
Yeah.
we were all just like, we're all
But-
going to Italy and we rented this villa and we're going to do this, that, and the other, and we're all driving supercars while we're here and da 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 da. It's like we
Yeah.
just spent $700,000 for this group vacation. It's like, you know what? Totally fucking worth it. Like,
But that's worth it because at that point, like I
Could
said,
you imagine the warfighter crew bombing through the hills of Maranello?
yeah.
Full.
100%
but the thing is,
can.
I'm doing that shit in a fucking like 70 Nova. Like, but the thing's like, boom, 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 boom. You
Just
know,
fly
I'm not
one
doing it
over
in some
there.
fucking not doing it in some fucking Italian.
No,
sports,
I'd do
'cause
that
it's
if we
just- that would
decided-
lost. That'd be lost.
If
on
we
me.
decided to do like the Route 66 piece,
Yeah.
it's like you do it all in American Muscle. But then
Yeah.
we go there and we rent like GTBs and like the 4Cam and all that. That has that.
I'd kill myself.
Well, that
That's
has
the
that
problem.
loud. Well, they're not that. The old ones aren't that fast.
No.
But but they make all that noise. Like it's that. But all of us would be finding tunnels just to clunch dump while we're
yeah.
going through the just
Just-
to see how
Just
loud
get
we can
that
be.
clatter. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Just to reinforce the fact that Europe hates America for this reason.
No, that's why we take the 450 and just like soup up a couple of 450s and we're flying around because they can't get around. I mean, not that your truck screws anyway, but just to be like, look at these fucking assholes. Like the car doesn't fit on the road. But yeah,
Yeah.
You should make the roads wider. Damn it.
there's a Challenger I saw. The guy put a dually back end on a Challenger.
It's wide enough.
Yes, it was a wide body anyway, and then they rebuilt the back end, so it was a wide body. They started out
How
with.
do those handle?
The
Challenger.
Well, mine now, because it's the wide body, it handles very differently than my skinny did.
Because I've never driven one.
This handles great. I can get away with a little bit more on this one than my old one.
Just a better contact patch.
Better contact. I put Continentals on my old one, so it stuck to the road a hell of a lot better. But now, because of the wide body, I get the ones that it came with. I don't feel like I need to change the tires because I was always like 35.
What about you, man? If you were gonna, like, I know your truck is you bought your truck because it's useful.
Yeah, it's
like it's a legitimate,
purposeful.
You like it, but it's a tool as
Yeah.
well. But if you didn't have to worry about it anymore,
what would I
like,
buy?
would you get like your Firebird back or your Trans Am back?
I would
or would you?
I would totally have a Trans Am. But
I would probably buy you. Like that would be the one thing I would show up in and be like, "This is your car."
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That's how you know he'd won.
yeah.
All of a sudden, this fucking flatbed shows up and like 6 cars roll
Well, that's
off.
the kind
and
of
it's
thing
like,
I'd love
what
to
the
do is be
fuck?
like,
And
it's like, all right, Scott knows that I don't even know what you'd want, but like I'd get you like some fucking souped up bullshit fucking bug from like 76.
I'd drive the fuck out of it.
with like the fucking Union Jack. Like
I'd get my El
thrown
Camino
up.
back.
Yeah,
I'd buy
100% get my El
like a
Camino
souped up
back.
El Camino.
Yeah.
I'd find my '67 Rivian and get it back.
Is that what you want?
No, he used to have one.
Yeah,
He used to have a late 60s Rivian.
But I'd have you
Yeah.
fucking.
I'd love my
I'd
Elko
have
back.
it all fucking like seamed the fuck out.
I'd love my Elko back. See, that's the thing though, is if I did it, I would actually want one of those retro mods.
You know what I would
where it was
like?
like it looked like an old El Camino, but then you'd open it up and it'd be like, is this the 50th anniversary Camaro inside here? And it's like, yeah, it is. It just looks like an Elko.
Certain people need like it has to look like inside. I kind of want my creature comforts.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I want my wireless Apple CarPlay and I want my fucking. Like,
I would have a resto mod Lincoln with suicide doors.
fuck yeah.
Like all blacked
Like
out,
a,
you know.
like
Gen
a
3?
62, 63.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I want a
suicide doors. And
I want a
that's what
66
we
black on red.
That's what we would pull up in like in Vegas with at the valet and go like drinking.
Yeah.
Like you'd pull up in the
all
Lincoln with
19 feet of it.
and the suicide
Goddamn
doors.
right.
Red leather.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
black on red.
Yeah, blackout. Yeah.
The humidor in it.
Yeah.
The fucking
Yeah.
oh yeah.
But
yeah.
the interior, I've wanted one for so long.
and it would have to rumble. Like
Oh,
it'd
yeah,
be a-
absolutely.
Big
yeah.
block,
Yeah.
huge cam.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I want one that's black with the red interior, and I don't mean like it's got red seats. I mean like everything on the interior
Yeah.
is blood red.
Dude, but we'd go to like Meekham's. Like Scott, we're gonna just go. Like we're gonna get a
Just
fucking
start pointing at shit.
Like
Just
a
be like that one.
boss for. I mean, just like yeah, I don't even fucking like Mustangs. Be like, yeah, fuck that guy. Like we're buying that thing.
Just sitting at Jackson Barrett. Just
Yep.
that
Yep.
one. Be like, why? Because that guy really wants it. So we're gonna
Some
take
like
it.
crazy looking fucking 52 piece of shit Ford that's been complete like truck and like look at this thing. It's gorgeous. Like buy that shit.
What are you gonna do with it? We're gonna Baja convert it. Because there's never been a Model A that's won the Baja.
Monster tires on the fucking thing, like shocks, like fucking 14-foot shocks.
Just some fucking T-bucket with fucking 40-inch travel.
Goddamn right.
You've got to play. I don't even play like it's got to be like 200 or 300 million before I'm playing, and like that's not like the way to do it. You got to play. You
Yeah.
either get like a season. I don't know if you can do Mega Millions like the year
Where you
long.
always buy or whatever.
Yeah, it's like $100 and you get the ticket for the year kind of thing.
yeah.
But yeah, you got to do that because it's. I don't know if anybody won Saturday, but it was up almost to 200 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember when that Powerball got to like $1.3
Yeah.
billion.
It was 60 billion.
And I think
after
2
taxes.
people split it or something like that. Like 2 people won it.
3
Yeah.
people won it.
Or 3 people won it.
At 1.5 billion.
Still.
It's currently at 280 million
Yeah,
right
there
now.
you go. Yeah, that's so nobody won Saturday. So there you go. So you know,
Estimated cash value at 205.
So
I'm telling you, boys,
you're going to take home about 110
like half.
after.
Like you got to figure it
Yeah.
out.
No,
You
because
gotta-
you'll get the T05. You'll get an attorney and an accountant before you ever take possession.
yeah, but it's,
Everybody does the tax math on like if you just got the check and then just paid tax and it just sat in a checking account. Nobody does it that way. Nobody's smart, at least.
That's the fucking problem because literally, you guys are gonna get a phone call like. Get your weapons and get your body armor and get to my house. It's okay. And then we're going to start with that. You got to disappear because you've got that much money. Like, look at all the stars in Hollywood and all the fucking rappers. That much money, you're way over all of those people.
Yeah, but that's why you accept it as a trust, and that way nobody knows who it is.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I'm never going to like the fucking
No,
lottery.
you never wanted to be like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is Jim and he just won $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, a trust takes it and then everything gets divvied out. And It's
Yeah, like between my wife and her sister, I'll have no problems. Granted, I'll actually need somebody who really knows how to deal with that much money, but still.
well, that's when you literally find one of those accountants. That's all they do is handle.
But that's our guy. Like that's
Yeah,
it.
it's like who's handling Elon's taxes? I need to talk to that guy because he probably knows how to make sure that I'm not getting fucked. Like,
Yeah, I'm an LLC of some secure fucking Caribbean island. Like, yeah, doesn't have fucking and no extradition rights because God knows what we're gonna get into.
how much money does it take to get one of those red jacket passports? Sir, no, that's not what I asked. There's an amount of money. There's got to be an amount of money that lets me get one of these.
I just travel and I would just not worry about anything.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that even after that giant tax bite out of your ass, if you want $1 billion, it wouldn't matter. You could still do it. I mean, you could still just do whatever the fuck you wanted. Never worry about a thing.
But it's no fun if it's just your money or you're like 90 years old. You've got to like.
Well, what are you going to do?
Like I don't want my friends working. Like Scott.
Hey, I want to go on this 30-day trip.
Dude, I've got to put fucking cigars in a bottle. Like, no. And grab Dave. We're going to Jamaica or wherever the fuck we're going.
All right. If you do something, I'm going to go on a 30-day trip and I want to see all the F1 races that are happening in that 30
With
days.
all my buddies.
What are you going to do? Go alone?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
That's
like-
right. Yeah. No. Fuck no. So.
Are there any like rich celebrities you try to get in tight with?
No,
No.
because they all suck.
No. Honestly, the
No,
only.
I take
you
that
know
back.
What? I take that back too.
Like Ken Block. I would love to fucking hang out with Ken Block. Do you know who Ken Block is?
No.
So he was originally a rally car racer. He's sponsored by Monster and Ford and da-da-da-da-da. And he owns all these ridiculous cars. He's a professional racer, but he's the one that does like
The Gymkhana stuff.
the Gymkhana. He has Hoonigan. And it's just like, what's all this stupid shit I can do in a car?
Yeah.
And he has all these ridiculous, like he's selling the Hoona truck right now, which you can get for $1
It'd be
million.
cool to hang out with those people, I guess,
But-
and you probably would rub shoulders with those people.
But he's that kind of guy that he's worth, I don't even know how much money at this point. But like literally his whole thing is like,
200 million.
yeah, how fast and sideways can I do this? He's the kind of guy you want to hang out with because that's that kind of dude that's like, hey, so you know, like this World Rally Champion stage? And it's like, yeah, it's like, so I closed it all down because I want to be able to ride it. Will you let me navigate for you while you drive? And he'd be like, yeah, fuck, let's go. Like, he's just like, you can tell when you interviews and stuff, he's that kind of
people
guy.
like that, which aren't like like everybody knows who they are. That would be cool to hang like to those people.
Yeah, but if it's like some movie actor or whatever, no. I don't
like,
give a
I
fuck.
probably do like I'd like to hang out with Taylor Sheridan from fucking Yellowstone because he's like a dude. You know, I'd be like, look, man, I want to walk on part. Like I want to be in a shootout. Like I can get killed, or like I want to be a fucking cool guy. But like I want to be in a fucking shootout in fucking Yellowstone, or like any one of his fucking 3 shows he's got coming out. But other than that, like we've gotten so far down the rabbit hole with that guy's shows. So lives in Texas.
He
Owns
the,
ranches. Owns the 4.6s now. Yeah, owns the 4.6s. Owns other barrel racing ranches up on the other side of Texas where he's from. I'd be like, look, dude, I just want to fucking be part of your fucking crew for a little. I just want to hang out a little bit because we love your shit. But other than that, no, there's nobody like stars. Like I don't give. I've been around enough of those guys that I don't like. You guys. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But the thing is, they may want to know you because you've got way more money, like, you know, $500 million than a lot of those guys. So it's kind of like whatever. But I don't.
Well, and that turns into a lot of that's why, like, people like Ken Block, like he just said, worth $200 million. He's not going to give a fuck that you're worth fucking $500 million because he's like,
he wants to.
You're
if you're
at
into
the,
his,
you're
like,
at
what
the
he's
price
into,
point that he's like,
it's the same thing.
Okay, you're not here because I have and you don't. Like,
That's
it's
the
just
thing.
No, I'm into the same shit you are. You have a skill set I don't, and I'd like to be able to experience this. Like, and I'm not here to try and like leech off of you or whatever. It's just look, I think you're into cool shit, and I now have the availability to be into cool shit. So let's fucking go. Like,
what about land? Y'all moving?
I'll have several places around the world.
100%. I don't
probably
know
moving out. Like
I would buy land as an investment for sure.
Probably Montana or like something.
Well, I
like
don't.
that
The
where I can
problem
get away
with
from people.
Montana is it's cold.
Yes.
See, I don't mind. Like Julie does, like my wife does, but I don't.
Oh, I do.
But I go there in the summertime.
Yeah.
Like I'd buy like a piece of property on a lake. It's getting harder and harder to do that. Or Montana or Idaho or one of like Idaho's like
I don't know.
bought up
Like
too.
with that amount of money though, when
But
you
Justin,
can do
that's a good
stuff like
question.
you can book one of those all in fucking things in like Big Sky and go hunting. And it's like I can go
Yeah.
up there and it's like I'm living there like I own it, but I don't actually have to own this shit in
Right.
Montana. I'd be okay with that. I'd probably buy in Florida mainly for the taxes.
So we're in Texas, so there's a lot of like whether it's Texas and Florida, but and I probably wouldn't buy property outside the country.
I would.
100%.
Well, I know
would.
what you're talking about, and I probably jump on that too.
I'd buy some in. Everybody's gonna fucking freak out. I'd buy French land that was wine country.
If it's available. Yeah, even though I know, like you're saying, like if you've got fuck you money, but at the same time, like if you look at like George Clooney, he you know, he's
has
got that thing
villas
that's
and
like,
stuff everywhere.
but he's still on top of people.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be on. I don't want to like if we go on vacation. The only guys we're seeing are cooking like whatever.
Well, that's
Unless
like
that's
like Gordon Ramsay, right? He's worth obscene amounts of money, and he owns. I just saw a thing the other day that he's got like 2,700 employees.
Wow.
But he owns like 40 restaurants or 22 restaurants and blah 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 blah.
So I'm
blah,
not
blah,
getting
blah,
it.
blah,
I'm
blah.
like I'm not like.
But he has houses everywhere.
Yeah.
His main house is in London.
Yeah.
But he's got like a house in Vegas and he's got a house in Italy and he's got all that kind of stuff. I'd probably like I'd own a house in Italy. And I'd probably own a house like in France. I'd probably own one in England. I'd own multiple in the United States.
See, I don't know enough about other countries because I haven't been there. So it might be something that after I go and visit, like then okay.
Now I would.
I'd buy
okay.
property in Zambia.
I might do fucking Scotland
In Africa.
and like buy like a castle.
I'd buy a
Maybe.
pub in Ireland.
Pub. Like I do Ireland because my family's
Like
from
not
Ireland, so.
not that I'd want to go run. Like I would find whoever owned it and it was already operational and everything and be like, what do I have to do I just want to own that. You don't have to change the name. You don't have to like business as usual. I just want it to be mine.
I wouldn't do that. I'd just be like, I want to rent it out. No, I would just
Don't
be
even
like,
rent it out. Just go in.
I just want to come
and
hang
at
out.
the end of the night, just be like, can you give me the total for the
Everybody.
pub?
Yeah.
Like just everybody that's
I'd
in
probably
here.
like Ireland. That's like a good thing because like my mom's from Ireland, so I might do like
I'd
I
buy
might do
land in
something like that.
Ireland though. Like I'd have a little estate in Ireland.
Yeah, like dude, because we could go there. Like we get a place and then we just do whatever.
Right. I'd have like horses and shit and be like,
I definitely, unfortunately, we'd probably have a lot of horses.
hey, your chick's got a thing for horses.
We've already got fucking 3. I don't even know how to fuck to do with. So yeah, we'd probably do the horse thing here or wherever, and she'd do whatever. But yeah, there's like little things, but I wouldn't do like. Then you're like, wow, I blew through like $200 million before you even like know what the fuck you're doing. So it would just be like, and you can
there's
only
a certain amount
drive
of
so many
capital.
cars. You can
Yeah.
only do so much. So if you can kind of just do like trips
Yeah.
and like other people's shit, like we went
Yeah.
to Italy, but
Yeah, don't spend your money.
we used, we rented a place. It's beautiful. We spent it there for 10 days and then we don't have to deal with the bullshit or the jet that got us there is somebody else's jet. Like I don't want to have to worry about maintenance and the thing fucking.
There's also so much food I would eat that I haven't gotten a chance to. Like there's so many restaurants I would go eat in and shit like that I
Yeah,
can't
there's-
do now, either because they're inaccessible
Yeah, because nobody
or
knows how
you
the
just
fuck you
can't,
are. So,
or because so you can't get a seat, or
Yeah.
you're just like, I can't justify spending this on food. Like
Yeah.
this is
But I'm not into like, the dove that's like that big and you fucking
No,
eat it. And like,
not
I don't
doing
give
that.
a fuck about that.
Yeah,
But
any
like,
of
the
that
guys
shit
who
was
like
like-
make good beef, like I probably, if I had the main house, I would probably have a guy who could make like real New York style pizza all the time. And I'd have a fucking pastry chef that could make my fucking, like my cookies and my fucking Italian rum cake. God damn it. And like little shit like that. Other than that, like whatever, man. Like,
yeah.
you
I'd
know,
spend quite a bit of time in South America too,
Yeah.
like South and
we'd have a
Central
whole
America.
beach on this. I wonder what Nicaragua's like property rights, like what they allow
It's
you to
a
do.
99-year lease. You can't.
So it's
own-
like that.
Yeah.
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 Apparently, like Uruguay is really pretty.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I think we bored people now.
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah.
probably. So, anyways,
the fantasy, the
Yeah.
sports / fantasy fucking
Scott,
window.
sign us off. You
Uh,
never do it, so
I don't want to do it. Go ahead.
all right. I'll raise my glass and say thank you to being my fucking freedom friends.
Hold on. Wait.
Yep.
Hold
Got a
that
refill?
thought. Hold that thought. All right. Now we're ready.
Okay.
All right. Cheers, Dave.
Thank you for being my fucking freedom friends. Like, share, subscribe, push all those fucking buttons. Tell your mom. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, mom.
Tell your
mom's friends.
fucking
Mom's friends.
There you go.
Well, you can tell your friends, mom.
Tell your friends. I think we can tell your friends, mom.
Yeah, we'll do both.
Yeah.
Get all the moms involved.
Yeah.
Remember to check out warfightertobacco.com. Use code FTFO for 15% off. Wellness.us, Freedom Friends 25 gets a quarter off your order. And then 3 little things. It's our slogan, motto, whatever the fuck we want to say around here. Dave, what's the first one?
Oh, that'd be smoke on.
Scotty?
Drink on.
And goddamn it, boys,
Freedom the fuck on.